Here at San Angelo Live's Boomtown San Angelo. We're here. We're live. Hey, and we got thousands to give away tonight at the Strike It Rich Bingo Desk. And what other way to do it than bingo style? So come on, stay tuned. Throw us your numbers. If you think you got the lucky number, 0 through 60, you may have it. And we got tons of other stuff tonight. We've got tons of giveaways. Let's start with those. No Sags, Lovely Nails, Zips Car Wash, Next Level Sports, Isaac Farmers Insurance Agency, Cole's Diamonds and Designs, Napoli's, Angry Cactus, Axe House, Old Central Firehouse, and Scott Allison Real Estate. We got tons of giveaways. With all those names, you've got to be excited. So be ready. It's about to all get started. And I think we're about ready. We need a little bit more. Okay. Hey, we'll go ahead and give you the lineup of everyone who's going to be here tonight. We're going to have a lot of guests, and we're going to be talking about the businesses in San Angelo. We're going to talk about the industries in San Angelo. And we're going to talk about what makes San Angelo the best little big city in the world. We're going to have Dr. Don Toplin from ASU. He, the president of the San Angelo Chamber of Commerce, Walt Koenig. We're going to have Michael Looney, Guy Andrews, Jack Graves from J-Bar Meats. We're going to have Daniel Valenzuela, city manager here. We're going to have Ryan Newland, and we're going to have Todd Cole. So we have a lot of people here. It's going to be a lot of fun, and be excited for those giveaways. Anything else we got to go for it?
I don't know.
Let's go ahead.
Y'all ready?
Let's do it.
3, 2, 1.
And we're live.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? Manny Diaz here alongside.
And I'm Joe Hyde.
Yep. We're here with Boomtown San Angelo.
Boomtown San Angelo.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. We're talking economic development here in the city of San Angelo and the surrounding area. And as Trammell said, boy, do we have a lineup for you.
Why do we call him Trammell?
Well, that's my last
That's his last name.
It's his last name. We don't call him Matt, but it's Matt Trammell.
No, it's Trammell. And during football season, it was the Trammell Live Desk on Cover One.
And then we have Trammell Eats.
Yeah, get excited.
There's a whole franchise.
Rodeo.
He's probably going to want to raise one of these days. You know?
Hey, no. Minimum wage here. I'm all about it.
Minimum wage for Trammell?
Yeah.
I love it, Trammell.
As we know, minimum wage is, well, we won't get into that.
Yeah, don't get into pay scales.
Yeah. Nonetheless, man, do we have a show for you tonight? Giveaways. How much do we have in giveaways?
We have about $2,000 worth of giveaways.
$2,000 in giveaways.
So and the way we're going to do it, about every 15, 20 minutes, we're going to cut away to the Trammell. Oh, actually, it's not the Trammell. We gave people a call the Trammell. It's called the Strike It Rich Bingo Giveaway Desk.
Yep.
And Strike It Rich Bingo, if you don't know, it's up on North Chadbourne, and you can go up there and you can win more prizes.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think $10,000 in daily prizes.
Is that what they said?
Yeah,
all right.
$10,000 in daily prizes they have over there. So.
But I thought it was really cool that we are doing an economic development show, and we have a bingo parlor that is sponsoring the giveaway desk.
Yeah, who would have thought of that?
Only here that we could do that.
Only on San Angelo Live.
But our title sponsor tonight is Principal LED. Of course, Principal LED is one of the premier businesses. They're in the industrial park. They're a manufacturer. When I think of Principal LED, I think of light bulbs. But that's really not what the whole thing is.
I think they might be a little bit more than that.
They're like modern light bulbs.
Yeah, like industrial strength light bulbs.
Yeah. So when you drive down the street and you see these bright LED signs in front of Chili's or something like that, most likely the light bulbs that are in there, they're saving lots of energy and being green, but they're LEDs made here in San Angelo, Texas by Principal LED.
Yeah. Some of their stuff I know you've seen it. You've driven past the Angelo State University, all the Shannon clinics, anything that has Shannon on it in Angelo State. Yeah, that's a Principal LED like product. So,
but they're global.
Yes, indeed. They are not just
when you're in Richmond, Virginia, and you see an LED light, you have to wonder, did that thing come out of San Angelo, Texas?
We need to figure out how to get on their level.
Yeah, we need to get to their level. Exactly. But we'll have Brian Vincent, the CEO and founder of Principal LED. He's co-founder with his brother.
Yeah.
And we'll have him on, and we'll be talking about manufacturing and those kinds of opportunities that are coming to San Angelo. And the thing about it is, the whole Boomtown San Angelo concept is we're coming out of COVID, right? And all these big cities, they're stuck, and they're all sitting in their lofts, wearing their masks, being miserable. And so what we want to do, and the reason why we have the giveaway desk, is we want y'all to help us. Y'all need to help us make this thing rise in the edge rank on Facebook or on YouTube or what have you by liking, commenting, sharing, and let people know about San Angelo, Texas. Because when we get the city manager on here, Daniel Valenzuela, Of course, I won't be nice to him. Are you going to be nice to him?
Well, you're the one that's going to be talking to
Oh,
him.
I'm going to be talking to him?
So, yeah.
But we're going to ask him we're going to ask the hard questions about the water, about the roads, about the infrastructure. And you know what? There's a lot of good things that they're doing at the city that are facilitating a lot of this economic growth that I think we're about to have.
Absolutely. Another thing that we're talking about tonight, we won't get into whole nuts and bolts. We'll just kind of just throw the line, the teaser out there.
Teaser?
Yeah, the teaser line. We're talking housing here in San Angelo. And,
man.
I mean, this thing,
Who thought about the idea of saying housing?
it's a housing boom, but man, is it kind of a mess.
Is it a mess?
It really is. It's certain, I mean, existing houses were gold, and real estate agents are just, I mean, taking full advantage, as they should.
Well, one of the problems.
But when it comes to new homes.
Well, no, it's not just that. The real estate agents don't have enough houses to sell. So it's a seller's market. Right now, before the boom started, we have a seller's market.
Yeah.
So if you're young, like younger than you, Manny,
we won't say how old that is.
he's only 22.
Oh, get
but
out
anyway.
of here. Yeah, we'll stick with that one. I like that one.
Yeah, that's the other desk over
That's
here.
the other day. Oh, wait, Trammell. Let's see. Are you really 22? We gotta go.
No,
over there.
actually, it was my birthday the other day, last Thursday. I'm 23 years old. So
You're 23 years
23.
old. That's
yeah.
it.
Yeah, I know. Jordan
All right.
here.
So for Trammell, so we're going back to the desk. For Trammell, it's going to be really hard for him to find a low cost or affordable apartment or house to rent or something like that because of this seller's market. It's driving up the prices. And to give an example, and I don't want to get too far into it, we do the real estate email every Sunday,
Absolutely.
And one of the things we do, we pull the stats for the San Angelo AOR, which is the area of where we have houses, which is greater than just San Angelo. But I mean, there's like 120 houses on the market right now, and there's normally 500. So that's why we're having such an issue.
Yeah,
with it.
I think the average time a home was on the market in 2020, all of 2020, was 37 days.
There you go, 37 days. So
State average was 43.
Well, so it's not much better.
I mean, these things are going like hotcakes.
But we're going to have Ryan Newland on here. He's probably the smart. I mean, in my world, he's one of the smartest guys on real estate.
Without question.
And he'll explain some tips and tricks to be able to get through our real estate market right now, which I think there's going to be some relief that's going to come down the road because they are building a supply.
Absolutely.
So.
Well, first things first. Before we get the show started, let's kick it off with a little Strike It Rich bingo.
Strike It
Should
Rich bingo.
I explain the game?
You need to explain the game.
Well, before we do that, let's hear a word.
Let's explain the game first.
Well, let's hear a word from Strike It Rich bingo,
and then we'll explain the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll explain what's going on.
Yeah.
All right, you ready?
With payouts on average of $10,000 in prizes every day, the question is, why haven't you made it over to Strike It Rich Bingo? Play on paper for as low as $1 or electronically for as low as $20. So what are you waiting for? Strike It Rich Bingo, located at 1500 North Chadwick.
Put him in that previous.
All right, Trammell, you back? Wait, we got to go to Trammell, don't we?
Yep.
We totally screwed that up, but we got the Strike It Rich video going on. We're going to get really good, but what we're doing is we're doing more with less, right, Manny? Mm-hmm. Is that how it works? Mm-hmm. More with less because I'm the boss man. I said more with less. Anyway, here we go. Back to Trammell at the Strike It Rich bingo desk.
Are we ready for some giveaways?
I think we are.
All right, let's give away some giveaways. So the trick is, this is what we got right here. We got a bingo hopper. And this is courtesy of Strike It Rich Bingo, of course, because what other better way to do this than with numbers? We've came at y'all with questions in the past, and they got too easy. So we decided to mix it up a little bit. Let's get numbers. So what I need y'all to do is drop a number between 0 and 60. 0 and 60 right now. And the first, we're going to do 5 numbers, okay? One at a time, and we'll say who's ever closest to the number, or gets the number right, let's hope you get it right, will win. The first 5 people to get it right or get close to it will win 5 suspenders from No Sags. That's right, 5 suspenders. So what a great giveaway to get it started with. So let's go ahead and do it. We got 1, 2,
Okay, who do we get? Who's
3,
first?
4, and there's 5. So everybody get your numbers in there. Get your numbers in there. Get your numbers in there. 0 through 60. That's what we're doing. 0 through 60. 5 suspenders from No Sags. It's a pretty good deal here. So I'm going to go ahead ahead and give it about 30 more seconds. We're going to have a lot more giveaways. We're going to have Lovely Nails, Zips Car Wash, Next Level Sports. We got a lot of them, so get your numbers in there. And remember, if you say the same number as someone above you, the number above you, they're unfortunately going to have to win it out. So go ahead and get it going. The first number we got is 13. First one is 13. Second number, 51. Second number is 51. Third number, number 5. Number 5. Fourth number, 15. Number 15.
Yeah, the camera's right there. Just smile and look at the camera most of the time.
Okay. And the fifth number is going to be number 20. So, if you got any of those right, we're going to announce the winners here in just a few seconds. But until then, we're going to go back to the desk with a...
Actually, before we do that,
yeah,
let's hear a word from our Chamber of Commerce.
Oh yeah, let's hear a quick word from our Chamber of Commerce, and then.
Joe Hyde with back here, and to my right here is Guy Andrews. He is the executive director of the City of San Angelo Development Corporation, which you hear around town as COSA DC. And there's a big controversy on how you spell COSA DC. And I started making people spell it COSA-DC instead of like COSA, like everyone else was spelling it before. And I think some people started picking up on it. So that's my contribution to economic development.
Well, thanks, Joe. It's significant.
Anyway, one of the things I want you to just tell people what are your duties there at COSA DC, and what right. You know, for of course COSA DC, you hear this all the time, that y'all take half-cent of the sales tax right. and you waste it on projects like, you know, digging up ditches and stuff like that. So tell us what you really do.
Okay. Well, we are the administrators of the half-cent economic development sales tax, and what that is for the 8 1/4 cent sales tax. We get a half-cent of that to do and develop the types of things that the city budget and other taxing do. So we really at COSA DC concentrate on quality of life issues. We also contract with the Chamber of Commerce, and they are our marketing and advertising branch. And so we work very closely together. It's a great team that we've got together. So they're doing recruiting primarily, but we work together. So we've actually spent a lot.
When you say recruiting, you mean recruiting of big companies?
Of industrial type companies right. or other companies within town. What we concentrate on are projects, and we've done a lot of them. We actually spend a whole lot more money on water issues. We've done a lot of community enhancement projects.
San Angelo, Texas is a thriving, progressive community.
Street refurbishment, the Concho River projects, City Auditorium, Coliseum, a lot of those things. So we partner with the city to help bring those projects around. And our overarching goal for both the Chamber and the COSA DC is to create a place where people want to work and live. So we're more oriented towards place than we are in recruiting businesses and spending money. In fact, when Michael Looney talks after a while, he may or may not tell you that he's recruited 30 businesses in here without ever having paid a single dime of incentives for that. So we're not spending money to bring companies in. He'll also tell you that.
But wait a second. If
okay.
you are a company watching this show right now, if you're a CEO
Right.
of a company, we do have money that we do have incentives.
We do
to
have
attract them.
we do have money that's in our war chest. It's not the primary objective. What we want to do is to help people find the place where they can grow and prosper. And if that requires incentives, we're prepared to examine those. And we don't. A lot of people think we just give away money, grant money, and all that. All the incentives that we pay out are earned, and they're based on capital investment. So if you invest $4 million, we might then give you, after you've invested that money, give you a grant. There's also money available for employees. If you guarantee certain employees, as you add those, we can pay additional incentives. So.
Okay, so for the regular guy, the layman who doesn't know anything about economic development and all that, give me some examples that he can see driving around San Angelo that Costa DC had a major part in making sure it happened.
Right. So if you look at the Coliseum, the barns out there, the show barns were Costa DC project.
So the rodeo fairgrounds, a lot of the buildings out there.
Right. The fairgrounds out there, a lot of the river walk was done by that. The refurbishment of the city auditorium, Performing Arts Center.
So the Murphy Hall. That your kids are probably playing in the San Angelo Broadway Academy or what have you. Right. All that was a lot of that was the half-cent sales tax.
Right. A lot of money went into parks for recreational use, and so the list goes on and on.
When I first moved here, one of the big projects that Costa DC was involved with was dredging the Concho River and moving all the weeds and cat plants, whatever, cat weeds or whatever, across the board from the banks, and it really beautified the river. Primarily where you go along with the tour lights during Christmas.
Right.
All that used to be just grown up weeds right around the water. So you did a lot, and that was like a $6 million project.
Right, and those are the types of things that people look at. A company coming in wants to know about the quality of life, especially if they're bringing employees to the area. So all of those factors are important, and again, it's creating a sense of place where people want to live and work.
All right, so one of the big questions that Manny and I were talking in our intro about was housing. You know, if I'm a 20-something-year-old upcoming professional like Trammell over here, I need affordable housing, and one of the things. So what is happening with housing? I know you've just recently briefed City Council on a housing plan. Tell us what's happening with the housing. Why is it so scarce? And are there anything in the works to work on it? Right,
and if you stay tuned this evening, the city manager, Daniel Valenzuela, is going to go into that topic as well. But basically, in 2019, we did what's called a comprehensive housing study. It's referred to as ResIntel, so residential intelligence. And what that study did was to not only look at the supply of housing, but the demand for it and what those needs were. So for the first time, we created, through a consultant, a document that matches up supply and demand. And this document that they produce is so comprehensive, a builder can take it into a bank as a business plan and get financing
so when
more
you say
easily.
A builder, but a builder is having trouble finding subdivisions with lots, things like so. So could a developer that's making a subdivision use the same document?
They do. They use the same document. So especially in the multifamily units, the apartments that are going in now, they can do the same thing as to show that there's that demand, because they look not only at single-family housing, but multifamily apartment housing. And so you're seeing a boom in that with projects like the Creek 27 project, that they're the cottage types of homes. That's basically
where is Creek 27 in town?
Creek 27 is over in the Lower Bluffs area, across from the Texas Leadership Academy, on that road just off of the loop there, going into the Lower Bluffs. So that's going in. There's a apartment complex, a large one going in at Bentwood, right off of the loop.
And those are one-story units. It's kind of pretty unique, more upscale, I guess, single modular apartment kind of houses that you don't have a yard.
Right, and then
No yard to mow.
Right, and then Glen Park is an income-based apartment complex that went in right across the street from Goodfellow Air Force Base, so they're excited about it.
And you know, Goodfellow is a big driver behind this, because that's where, if you're a young officer coming here to instruct in the Intel school at Goodfellow, I would imagine it's very difficult to find something that's affordable that you don't have to bunk up with 5 or 6 different people in the same house.
What I like to say about it is it's becoming more and more difficult to find what's traditionally considered affordable housing, where that's based on 30% of your income. I'd like to talk about attainable housing, which it may require more, but at least it's not as expensive. But there are lots of challenges, and I think Daniel's going to talk about those this evening. With the price of land, construction materials, lots of challenges in the building industry now. But that housing study really helped to kick off.
Where can someone get the housing study? Can they get it online somewhere?
They can go out to our website, and we have a consolidated website. It's economicdevelopmentsanangelo.com, all run together. And under there, you can it will pop up the residential housing study as you go through there.
Economicdevelopmentsanangelo.com, and there's some you can find in the menus somewhere.
Right, and there's all types of other information about what's going on in the economy.
And we'll put it in the comment stream on the on this video since we can switch to the next segment. But Guy, you've been here what, 2 years?
Almost 3 now.
Almost 3 years now, and man, you've done a lot of work. Well,
thanks. It is a team effort, and I tell you, I couldn't ask for a better partner to work with on a daily basis than Michael Looney, and also now Walt Koenig.
Michael will be on next. He's the bald-headed guy.
Right, and then Walt Koenig has been here for a year tomorrow.
Completely transformed the chamber, didn't he?
Really did. Yeah. So it's an exciting time. This is what we live for. You know, it's all about San Angelo, and we love San Angelo, and we're living here too, and so we want to make it the best it can be.
Trammell, I think we're ready for another giveaway.
I think so, and I think we're ready to announce the winners in a second.
Well, Manny, what do you? You're in charge here. What do we do?
Give me 20 seconds. We'll hear a word from our.
517.
With payouts on average of $10,000 in prizes every day, the question is, why haven't you made it over to Strike It Rich Bingo? Play on paper for as low as $1 or electronically for as low as $20. So what are you waiting for? Strike It Rich Bingo, located at 1500 North Chadwick.
Development plan for the city.
All right, we're back here at the Strike It Rich Bingo giveaway desk. Giving away thousands worth of stuff.
Some success stories, and also
we kicked it off with 5 giveaways, and no one knows who won yet but me. So let's go ahead and give it out. We started with number 13, ended with 15, had 3 in between. So 5 giveaways. First one, Sandy Droll. Second one, Christina Lopez. Third was Kim Peterson. And fourth was Fred Reyes. And the 5th winner was Wendy Clark Smith. So all of those winners, y'all can go to No Sags. We're gonna give them your name,
I'll take
and you'll get a free pair of suspenders, and that's on No Sags. So the next one, we're gonna give away some lovely nail gift cards. So ladies, here's your chance. Guys, here's your chance to give your ladies something right. So we're gonna give away 3 winners. So go ahead and drop your numbers right now. After I pull them, you're not gonna be able to give them your numbers, so make sure you get it right first. So go ahead and get those going.
Are you seeing it?
So we're going to give away a lot of more stuff. We got Zips Car Wash. We got Next Level Sports. We have Isaac Farmer's Insurance Agency. Cole's Diamond and Design. We got Napoli's. Angry Cactus. So just drop your numbers 0 through 60. Winner will get we'll have 3 winners, and then we'll get a $50 gift card to Lovely Nails.
How's it going? Is it looking good?
We just gave away 5 pair of suspenders from No Sags. Let's go ahead and just get them numbers in. Your chance at a $50 gift card to Lovely Nails. That's a pretty big offer right there. $50. Here we go. $50 gift card.
Where's Looney?
All right, we're going to get them rolling now. Here it is. We got 3 winners. Here we go. 1, 2, and 3. So, numbers are, first number, 28. 28. Second number is 39. And the third number for the Lovely Nails $50 gift card is 54. Remember, these were 0 through 60. So we're going to figure out who it was. So right now it is 7:48, so there's no longer time to put in for this one. So the numbers were 39, 54, and 28. So we're going to go through these in a minute, and we'll announce who won. Remember the first winners, they won 5 suspenders from No Sacks. It was Sandy Droll, Christina Lopez, Kim Peterson, Fred Reyes, and Wendy Clark-Smith. So they're going to get a free pair of suspenders. These 3 winners are going to get $50 gift cards to Lovely Nails. We're about to have free car washes from Zips Car Wash, and you know that's the best spot to get them in town. So stay tuned, and we'll let you know who won this one.
Look at the camera.
Here we are.
Hey, Joe Hyde with San Angelo Live. I'm here on your, I think you're on your right. No, I'm on your left. No, I'm on your right. I'm on your right.
We're on the right.
I can't get all this TV stuff all figured out. But anyway, with me is Michael Looney.
Good to be with you.
And
thanks for having us on tonight.
Michael is the Chamber of Commerce employee that works with all the other organizations in San Angelo having to do with, I guess, making money. How's that?
That's a great basic way to put it. Industrial development, that's what we do.
Right.
The Chamber of Commerce has 3 main divisions.
Right.
You have Main Chamber, which does a lot of the support for the retail sector, small businesses that are basically...
Everyone but Amazon.
Anybody but Amazon, but these are the companies that compromise the immediate economic ecosystem. Then you've got tourism. The CVB, Convention and Visitors Bureau.
And that's under, of course, that's under Diane Bays.
That's under Miss Diane Bays, that's correct. Right. Very capable captain of that team. And then you have the Economic Development Division, which handles recruitment of industrial companies and the support of existing industry here in the Concho Valley.
One of the problems we have in San Angelo, when you compare us to like Abilene or Midland, of course, Abilene has an interstate and so does Midland, but they have a lot more commercial and industrial properties in their tax base. So when you look at your property taxes, they have a lot more commercial and industrial properties there, so they draw a lot of money there. It puts less pressure on residential properties to fund the municipalities, the county, the school districts, etc. So what you're doing here is we're trying to bring in more industrial companies to buy real estate here and to set up and have shops here and things like that. I'm going to ask you a question. It's totally off the wall.
Go for it, Joe.
When Sitel went virtual, now you have this 5-6 story building over there that's kind of empty.
Sure.
And if you look at the tax rolls on that, they tax 2 things on Sitel. They tax the inside, with desk, equipment, computers, and stuff like that, and then they, of course,
and the actual bricks and mortar.
Actual bricks and mortar. What kind of impact does that have when a company decides to go virtual like that?
Well, that's a problem that's actually really global, and what we're seeing is one of the first examples, and I'll answer that directly in a second. But really, this is a trend that's been going on for years. Before I came to San Angelo, I was in the commercial real estate development business. And one of the questions that a lot of our equity investors would ask us, kind of in the latter years, so 2009, 2010, 2011, is what happens when the technology that allows entire companies to function virtually or from the home or from the field, i.e., we don't necessarily think we need a say 100,000 square feet of office space. What is that going to mean for our investment? And we knew that the technology was there, the capabilities were there.
Right. This is back right after the dial-up.
You got it. Sure. So this is when things were starting to speed up, and it was actually there. But culturally, it really hadn't been accepted yet.
Right.
The current pandemic situation forced that into the culture and made it mainstream to where now there is an understanding of efficiencies and, frankly, a trust where you have customers and you have company leadership that understand that their employees are as effective, if not maybe in some cases more effective, when they're working from a virtual or home environment.
I totally disagree that you could be that. I mean, you got to. I mean, what do you have to have, like, you know, like Lyft, for example? When you drive for Lyft, this is something I read about. They actually make you mount your phone so they can watch you.
So they can watch you work. That's right. That's right.
You know, I don't know if I'd want to sit at home being watched, but you know, that's me. I'm just an old Dodger there. I just don't want to do it.
Well, but yes, I mean, certainly that is a challenge.
What's going to happen to San Angelo with that big empty building? Anyone buy it?
Well, I believe it has been bought. It was up for auction a couple days ago. But interestingly enough, we know Sitel very well, and as part of our Manufacturers Association that we run under the umbrella of the Chamber of Commerce, we've gotten to know leadership there over the past several years. There was a trend towards a work-from-home model that they had been deploying for quite a number of years, but really quite successfully. So when the pandemic hit them, they were in gear. They knew exactly how to handle it, and so as far as the workforce is largely intact in the San Angelo area.
So they're still here. They're still spending money at Stripes, and we're still collecting their sales tax money.
So that brings up a fascinating question that economists and municipal leaders are studying, and that is you retain your employees, you retain your paychecks, so everybody's safe in that regard. Their careers are continuing forward. But your bricks and mortar is becoming less desirable because you just don't see the need for it. I think we're going to oscillate, though, over time back into office
I'm not going to say it. I was going to say we could turn it into another prison. But anyway, just kidding.
We're good there.
Plan business and industrial.
Give me an example of some of the companies that have come here in the last, I don't know, let's just say the last decade.
Sure.
And also, not just the companies, but tell me about their impact on our local economy.
Well, one of the things that makes San Angelo a really interesting community is that it is not tied to one or two major commodities or service sectors.
So
it's really a quilt work of a lot of different service sectors.
And it's also public-private. So you have Air Force Base, you have ASU, you have a lot of state of Texas stuff here. Plus, we have a very diverse,
very robust entrepreneurial and private sector economic array of different types of companies. But you've got everything that ranges from agriculture, that includes companies that trade in crop inputs, the actual harvesting of the product. So the cotton and the sorghum, the wheat grains that are harvested. You know, the ag sector in San Angelo, we worked with AgriLife over the past year on a report to understand.
And AgriLife is the extension service?
The extension service that's up near Grape Creek, yes. Right. And so we worked very closely with Texas A&M AgriLife Center.
Whoop.
Yep, whoop. And you know, that's an $815 million a year industry just in the Concho Valley, and that's a 5-county region. And when you think about that, 98% of the cotton that's grown in the Concho Valley is harvested, and it is sent overseas for processing into textiles. So it's a massive export crop. Right. And so you have that, just the ag sector for one cotton crop.
And of course, we have this gigantic gin they just built in Moretta.
You bet, man. You guys were out there, and on top of that, that was a cool day. That was the grand opening of the Moretta Super Gin.
So that Moretta Super Gin, we're still in the subject matter of projects that have been completed and their impact. What kind of impact does that have on the Concho Valley?
You know, easily in the dozens of millions of dollars per year.
Dozens of millions.
Dozens of millions of dollars.
Just does that mean 36 million?
I don't know exactly what that means. That's kind of a guarded secret, and I think they're actually trying to figure out what that true yield is, because what you have is you have two major gins that are combined into one.
Right.
You have all the different efficiencies that come from a highly technically advanced super gin. It's the newest one in the country. And so you have your output that comes out of the ground and gets processed is much more efficient, much faster.
Here's a lead for you. When you watch they're doing the elections, and I have to cover the news, right? So
sure.
And I have to educate myself on things to write opinion pieces on. And one of the things I had to look into was the MyPillow guy.
The MyPillow guy.
MyPillow guy. And he sells, on his website, he sells something like geisha cotton. And I think that's like from Egypt or something.
Egyptian cotton.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what the heck? Why is he not selling our cotton?
Well, it actually probably is grown in the United States. It's just a certain textile type. It's a certain fiber. It's actually called lint. And so that is something that
comes out of your dryer.
It's a special strain that has properties that are desirable for certain types of textiles.
Why are we not turning that cotton into fabrics here in the United States?
Well, there are companies that do that, but there's back in the 80s and the 90s, the United States started to slide backwards in its manufacturing capabilities. And part of that was just because overseas in Malaysia and Vietnam, when that country opened up, normalized relationships with the United States, of course, mainland China, and then of course you have China, the island, which is Taiwan. So you have a lot of manufacturing operations came up in those areas because they knew that there was an overage and a capacity need, so they needed to produce what the United States.
I need you to make a call to my pillow guy and get him to start promoting San Angelo cotton.
All right, Concho Valley cotton. How about that?
That
sounds like a really good idea, and we can talk more about the ag sector, but we also
and not just my pillow guy, but the left wing guy that's doing it too. Get both of them competing.
Get back to me on that.
All right. So before we go, give me the biggest win you've seen since you've been here. You've been here about since
I've been here for almost 7 years. Yeah.
The biggest win.
Well, in my opinion, I think the biggest win from an economic development and a strategic standpoint probably is the San Angelo Rail Park.
Okay.
And that is a 183.5 acre rail park that is now under construction. You guys got some footage of it.
Get some footage of the rail park. Manny, when is it, the rail park? When are we putting that on the show? Next or right now? Okay.
Yeah, in fact, we got to go. This is B-roll of the rail park that you can see on, what is this, the highway that it's off of?
That's 2105 and then 50th Street's on the southern side of the rail park. Why I find this to be so significant and why I think it's going to be a real game changer for our area is that it is a multimodal, multi-commodity, 180 acre, 13 turnout lane rail park.
And when you say 13 turnout lane, this would be 13 parallel tracks?
13 ladders coming off a double track spine.
Okay.
And so what that means is that each ladder, each rung of the ladder, can accommodate a different commodity. So you could have grains, dry flowables as they're called. You could have cotton lint. You could have cotton bales. You could have oil. You can have aggregates, lumber. And so what's significant about it is that this is a project that is designed to be used by the ag sector, the container users, so retailers, and also the industrial sector, but it's not just designed for one or two different commodities. Multiple commodities.
All right, so for the layman here that doesn't understand a whole lot about business, what can I do with it? Give me an example.
We've got several aggregate companies that are in the region.
An aggregate company would be sand for the oil field?
Yep, sand for the oil field, aggregate stone, trachyte rock that's used in construction. Companies that are importing steel, so coil steel that can be brought in from Mexico.
Like
or the
we
Port
have
of
AFCO Steel here, and they're building like stadium parts and stuff like that.
And what you gain efficiencies because you can bring more steel at a lower cost, but you can also bring in heavy plate, or you can bring in even coil steel.
All right, so if the people have been stuck behind them on the highway, can you ship propellers for wind generators?
You can. They disassemble them and they put them in cradles, and you absolutely, I just saw it today. You absolutely can do that. Sure can. Yep.
So basically what you're saying is, this is another benefit, is they're going to get those wind generators and turbines off our highways.
It's going to pull them off the highway until they have to dray it from the actual port into wherever it's going to be placed.
So they'll tear up the county roads, not the interstate.
Well, it's not going to clog up mainline traffic, interstate traffic, which I understand exactly what you're talking about. Joe, we've got some hats that we're going to give away today too. I want you to do this.
Trammell, we're going to have to put this through the Trammell giveaway. The Strike It Rich Bingo giveaway desk.
Hey,
and these are
the official San Angelo hats.
And Joe, you will appreciate this, my friend. These are made in the United States of America.
Oh yeah.
All right, so they're better than my pillow.
I don't know where those are made, but I guess they're not in the United States.
Do I look gangster?
You look good, man. You look great, Joe. You look good.
All right, so how many we got?
Got about 10 of them.
We got about 10 of these hats. We're going to put them into
We'll put them in the line. We'll put them in the line.
Do you want me to throw this hat at you? Is that what you're throwing? No, you're giving me some. We're not quite like Fox News yet, where we have like the earpieces. So I have to deal with the hand signals. Hey, we're going to put these into the Strike It Rich Bingo giveaway desk. Trammell will be giving out more hats like this. Thank you, Michael.
Hey,
Appreciate
Joe,
it.
we're glad to see what you guys are doing here. Thank you for coming, having us out and letting us talk about industrial development in San Angelo. There's a lot more going on we can talk about. And just great to engage with you on that.
It's San Angelo Economic Development, sanangelo.com.
That's right. That's right.
Economic Development, sanangelo.com. If you want to learn more about what we're doing in San Angelo, Texas, to increase the tax base, increase the money we're bringing in for property tax.
You got it, and it's already working. It's working to great effect. We've had a great partnership with the county, with the City of San Angelo Development Corporation. Great partnership, everyone working in unison, and the successes. We're having a great time. Great ride.
And we need to go right now. We're going to go to our sponsor. You ready?
Yep.
Mr. Diaz. And then we'll be going to the giveaway desk, the Strike It Rich.
I-17.
With payouts on average of $10,000 in prizes every day, the question is, why haven't you made it over to Strike It Rich Bingo? Play on paper for as low as $1 or electronically for as low as $20. So what are you waiting for? Strike It Rich Bingo, located at 1500 North Chadwick.
We're back. We're at the Strike It Rich Bingo giveaway desk. We're giving away thousands worth of prizes. Hey, I have some winners. We got 3 winners who just won a $50 gift card to Lovely Nails. Those 3 are going to be Eric Fisher, Gina Duran, and Christy Wolf. That's right. They won that. We've given away 8 prizes so far. On this one, we're going to give away 5 more. This was the Zips Car Wash. Zips Car Wash, the best car wash in town. So we got numbers 0 through 60. All right, as soon as these numbers are gone, boom, that's it. And you can't win twice. I know you tried, Sandy Droll. You were really close, too. But you can't win twice, so remember that. So here we go. We got 5 numbers. Go ahead and get your numbers in there. Get them going. Remember, 5 $30 car washes at Zips Car Wash, so every winner gets 1 apiece. Go ahead and get your numbers in there. Here we go. We're rolling. 3, 4, and 5. Here, we'll go ahead and announce the numbers. The numbers are 16, 19, 21. Oh my goodness, we got a bunch of low numbers. 25 and 47. So we'll go ahead and announce who won those prizes next time up. Remember, Eric Fisher, Gina Duran, and Christy Wolf, go ahead and message us, and we can hook y'all up with your Lovely Nails gift cards. And stay tuned to see who won the Zips car washes. Back to you guys at the desk.
All right. Thank you, Matt Trammell, there at the Strike It Rich Bingo giveaway desk. Man, already giving away some good stuff there.
Excellent prizes. Well
you're
done.
Taking notes.
Well done. I am absolutely. Yeah, I'm very, very, very impressed. Yeah, well done, guys.
Yeah. Anywho, all right. Walt Koenig here, president of the San Angelo Chamber of Commerce. Yep. And I think Guy Andrews touched on it. Tomorrow will be your one-day anniversary.
Yeah, I can't think of a better. Yeah, I can't think of a better way to finish my year here in San Angelo than with you all here. My last day of my first year. Tomorrow is a new year for me.
Yeah, April Fool's.
Not lost to me that it was April Fool's. It was a kind of year, but it was a great year. Yeah. Really fantastic year for the city and the chamber, and all the associated organizations.
Yeah. So let's talk about that really quick. So you came in last year. You came in from Kerrville.
That's correct.
And you came in, during just the wildest time to be alive, and this is the pandemic that of COVID. Give me the nuts and bolts of what that was like, having to come in and do your job here.
Well, it was very interesting because, as you'll recall, the crisis kind of unfolded in phases. And when I got here, I was really thinking things would be pretty much wrapped up by June, and it was sort of a couple months, because that's what we were kind of being told. We're flattening the curve. It's going to be. I didn't know that it would be a prolonged
30 days.
I thought so. Yeah. But it was good. We shut the chamber only about 3 weeks during that period. We opened up as quick as we could because we understood that we had to be there for our members and we had to be there for the community. And there were chambers around the United States that had a different strategy, and I think that was a mistake. I think we were able to bring benefit and value to our membership every day through this, in association with our great city partners every day of this year. So I'm very, very proud of my team, and I'm very proud of the accomplishments we enjoyed together.
Now, each and every time I hear the Chamber of Commerce, I hear your name being brought up, and I know that's nobody likes to pat themselves on the back, but I'll do it for you here. Being in this position is in such short amount of time here. What do you feel like has kind of been something that you've been able to accomplish right off the bat here?
Well, you know, we've had so many wins across the board. I mean, you heard Mike Looney, who's on my staff and my team. I've never seen a set of wins in the economic development sense within a very short time frame in my whole career, as we saw last year. So that's a big win. On the CVB side, you know, Diane continued to keep us on the map from a travel and tourism standpoint within the CVB. And the numbers that we were putting on the board with the CVB were consistent with 2017. So we did not experience that huge drop-off of travel tourism revenue as many, many other cities saw. So I'm very proud of that. I'm very proud of my team for being flexible and being adaptive to the situation. We maintained our full calendar of activities through the year. We were cautious and careful. However, we did not hide from the situation, and we were out there serving our membership. And as a result, we have experienced 10 consecutive months of net membership growth at the Chamber of Commerce, which even in good times is quite a record for any chamber. So we added more members than we lost. And for me, that's a great, great accomplishment. So it was a great win.
Wow. Now, coming in from Kerrville, you know, obviously it's a smaller area than San Angelo and the Concho Valley. But before you took this position, was there anything that you had in mind that was like, okay, I want to go in there and do this? Was there anything that you were saying to yourself that I can do this right off the bat?
Well, I was very excited to take this position because we did not have the CVB under the chamber in Kerrville, and we just barely had the EDC under the chamber. So I was really looking forward to getting into and learning about those pieces of the pie, as it were. I was very excited to get in and be involved with a community that I had grown to love from afar, frankly. When we were in Kerrville, we used to come over here for fun and entertainment, and when this opportunity was presented, it was something I really wanted to do. So I saw the potential. I saw the diversity of the economy here. It's a bigger situation with a lot more resources, and I figured we could get a lot done, and we did.
Yeah. Now, having a chat with Michael Looney, and by the way, I had a chat with him on Friday of last week.
I know you did some touring too.
Yeah, we did some touring of the new railport, and it's like it was just a brain dump of information because the guy just knows so much, and I was just like, okay, we've got to start here. I mean, we got to backtrack this whole thing. But in terms of, and one thing that we had talked about was companies that you guys that like to kind of go after that are not only going to bring good wages, but provide that these guys would be able to provide for their families for long term, things like that.
Yeah, it's a great thing to be able to raise the standard of living within a community, and that's a big part of what we do. Be it at the chamber where we're supporting retail and entrepreneurship and helping people get started in their businesses, or within industrial development or travel and tourism where we're bringing higher wage jobs, more lucrative situations to our local businesses. And that's a great, great thing to do. I have had people ask me, why are we recruiting people to come here and create jobs when we have such a low unemployment rate? And the answer to that's really simple. We don't stop recruiting $20 an hour jobs because we still have $8 an hour jobs to fill. So that's a big part of what we do. The other thing I'm really proud of is the work we've been doing with the educational institutions, be it the ISD, Howard Colleges, or ASU. We want to help them prepare workforce-ready graduates, but we also want to keep them here. Yeah. And so we spend a lot of time talking to the graduates of those great institutions, working with them to figure out how they can find a home in San Angelo for a career, versus taking their great skills and expertise elsewhere. And so that's a very important part of our strategy. All right,
being in West Texas, oil is king, oil and gas, but there are also, there are other energies that are available to us in terms of solar and wind. Obviously we want to make sure and promote imagine y'all want to attract these oil and gas companies because that's king. But how important are these other energy companies to bring them into to transition to something cleaner that's in our sights in the future?
Well, there's some advantages to clean energy or alternative energy. In terms of tax base increasing, it's not a high workforce demand. It's a high capital investment kind of business. But I think I'd really rather talk about the diversity of our entire economy.
Okay.
Now, while oil and gas is king, we've got a lot of princes out there too. I mean, we're strong in agriculture. We've got the air base. We've got the great healthcare and hospital system. We've got the university. We've got a very vibrant retail sector. We've got a great travel and tourism industry. And we've got over 100 manufacturers. So if you look at us as an economy, one of the reasons that we've been able to sustain ourselves through a very challenging year is because of that diversity. And one of the reasons we enjoy such a great quality of life and standard of living here is also because of that great diversity that we have economically.
Yeah, absolutely. Now you guys also have an air show coming up at the this fall.
Yeah, it'll be October. It's air races actually. It's a world-class event. First time in the United States with this particular organizer. It will put San Angelo on the map internationally from a travel and tourism standpoint. Very proud of our CVB for being active and getting out there and recruiting that. There were a number of communities that were interested in that event in the United States, and it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be very interesting, and we are going to be on the map, as I said before, internationally, and that will have all kinds of good secondary effects for us.
One thing that Michael Looney touched on, and I'm working on a piece with him, is regarding this railport. Because it's going to start from Coleman and it's going to go down to Mexico or to the Mexican border there into western Mexico, which will eventually lead to the Far East. How clutch is that for the city of San Angelo in this area to have that opportunity to be able to kind of lead the way in something?
Well, I mean, simply stated, it's a game changer. It's a catalyst for business for decades to come. It's going to put us again on the map in terms of a logistics hub with one of the most active foreign trade corridors in the world, and we are at the forefront of that. That facility, again, will position us well to recruit businesses to come here. It'll also give our local producers access to markets like they've never seen before. Yeah. So it's a game changer. It was innovative in terms of its construction as a deal. It was a great example of where public-private partnerships can produce great results. And that came together rather quickly, and I'm really very proud of that. It's going to be a game changer for decades to come.
Yeah, and also we're seeing the industry of Mexico kind of being, and I don't think people realize how clutch and how strong Mexican industry is in terms of to be a part of something like that with them. How crucial is that?
You know, it's an amazing. If you look at the amount of trade and amount of general economic wherewithal that occurs in the transborder area, it ranks amongst the largest, most active trade areas in the world. And we want a piece of that. We're going to get a piece of that, and it's only going to get better with the new trade agreements we've seen and the increase of foreign trade in general. So it's going to be great for us.
Yeah, definitely.
Hey Manny, this is the control room. We're getting some comments through Facebook Live. Christian Garcia he has a comment he wanted to make. I just wonder, I think it's a good comment. I think we've been talking a little bit to it, but Christian Garcia said we need to attract more technology, finance, and manufacturing companies. We need to create a community that incubates great ideas into big businesses. We're doing that.
Indeed.
So tell me, Christian is probably younger. He wants to know, when are we going to get there? When are we going to have nirvana? When are we going to have utopia?
We never rest, and we never have enough. I guess that's an easy answer to a rather complicated question. The sectors mentioned in the question are all sectors that we're actively involved with and have a pipeline of opportunities that we're bringing in here. I agree. I think that, again, we want to keep our young professionals here. We want to capture their imagination. We've got a fantastic small business development center, which is there to serve our entrepreneurial class and help the startups be successful. And I can't tell you, as an economic developer myself, what a great asset that is and how unusual it is for a town of our size to have that. So, great question. Happy if you stop by the chamber anytime. I'm happy to talk to you more about that.
Yeah, you guys are always so welcoming and so open to chat our local economy for sure. Joe, is there anything else to add from that?
Well, there's not a whole lot to add. I'm trying to pull up some more comments. Okay. I mean, most people are just happy to win prizes. What about those?
Hey,
I know.
Hey, we got 5 more coming. Don't worry.
Hey, 5 more coming from the travel desk.
That's probably our segue. Mr. Walt Koenig, President.
Honored. We are so grateful for the great service you all give to our community.
Definitely.
I'm really appreciate that as well.
Before you go, what we're going to go into next is the Principal LED video.
Yes, definitely so. All right, so Principal LED, they're one of our big manufacturers of this area, and they are also a sponsor of Boomtown San Angelo. Joe, take us.
To be successful, you've got to make smart moves at the right time. We're seeing a shift with the technology that's available today, and now is the right time to make this type of an investment.
Principal LED has always been known for anticipating what's coming next, being able to solve a problem before the problem comes up.
Oftentimes, the most elegant innovations are sometimes the simplest ones.
Our customers kind of basically said, hey, we need a replacement for fluorescence. And that's what our original Quick Stick did in 2014.
You know, our tagline is "We speak sign language." This is all we do. And we understand what our customers need. And it's not just around products. But we have a lot of other areas of innovation, either through our systems, our software, our support. As a kid, we're always taught to treat people better than you'd want to be treated. Everyone that works at this company cares. And we tend to align ourselves with customers who have that same mindset, have that same character.
We're a very relationship-driven industry. We want every Principal LED customer to feel like their family.
I feel like our customers feel a sense of that personal touch. That comes across through the people that we have that work for this company, and that on a daily basis talk to the customers.
We have the best team in the industry, hands down.
Innovation is never being satisfied with where we are at.
What we're doing right now is going to be huge, and that is onshoring of the new manufacturing process. What you're seeing behind us is a lot of automation, a lot of robotics.
It allows us to take raw LEDs, convert them to final product, but do it in more of a just-in-time manner. We'll be able to provide custom color temperatures, custom wire spacings.
We're the first to do that in our space, and nobody else has actually built modules and done that here in the U.S. Ultimately deliver a better quality, better performing system with better longevity and life expectancy. At the end of the day, we want to build the best quality out there, and what's behind me is going to do that.
It's quality, innovation, service.
It's simplifying the lives of our customers.
I think that's what drives us.
We're bringing back industry to the United States. I think that's a lot of pride in that. We'll see where we go from here.
You know, I do feel a sense of pride of what we've been able to build to this point, but also have a lot of excitement about what we're going to do in the future. In fact, I'm more excited today than I ever have been about the company.
I-17.
With payouts on average of $10,000 in prizes every day, the question is, why haven't you made it over to Strike It Rich Bingo? Play on paper for as low as $1 or electronically for as low as $20. So what are you waiting for? Strike It Rich Bingo, located at 1500 North Chadwick.
All right, we're back. The Strike It Rich Bingo giveaway desk. My favorite spot that I can be in tonight. I'd rather be over here than interviewing and talking to them over there. Just giving away giveaways. Hey,
wait, you got a problem with talking to people over here?
Thousands worth of giveaways. No, I love blessing the people out here.
No, you're blessing the people.
Yeah,
so this is like your ministry.
All right, so the last giveaway we were going to give away 5 $30 car washes. So we have the winners. Here we go. I'm going to post it in the comment right now. There it is. Thad Martin, Lisa Reed, Aaron O'Donnell, Laney Garcia, and John Paul Boyce. Those are the 5 winners of the $30 car wash from Zips Car Wash.
You just gave away 5 car washes?
Yeah, 5 car washes.
You know how much more do we have?
Hey, a lot more than that.
And
so this next one, if y'all have ever been to Sports Next Level, the best place to be at is in the sports simulator. I mean, you can go hunting in that thing. You can play football, basketball. You can play all these soccer. You can play anything you want there. It's awesome. And we're going to give away 3 of those 30-minute simulating sessions in the sports simulator. So go ahead, drop your numbers in there. Go ahead, starting right now. We're going to mix them up. Here we go. Drop your numbers. We got 3 of them. Here we go. We'll give you a second. We'll give you all a second.
We got one more commercial.
Get them in there. Get them in there. All right, here we go. I'm reading them, and that's it. We're done. 27. 49. Last number is 23. There we go. So we got 23, 27, and 49. The clock ends now. Hope you got your numbers in. Back to the guys at the desk.
Anybody who wants to go that is looking for a home, or maybe you just want to look to dream. So maybe you're thinking about building a home in the future. This is a great way to see hands-on what these builders can do, what their subs are like. This is a great chance to see the new trends and what's out and what's the latest and greatest.
Hello and welcome back. I'm Joe Hyde with San Angelo Live, and to my right is Brian Vincent. What are you, the CEO? You're the CEO of Principal LED, or do you?
Well, no,
you're like
actually,
this collaborative guy.
No. Well, we don't really have titles. My brother and I are partners. Actually, I call him the CEO because he's the Chief Entertainment Officer. He he runs the sales group. And
right.
But yeah, my brother and I are partners in the company.
And your brother,
Blake Vincent.
Blake Vincent.
Right,
okay.
Right.
And so Manny and I were talking about your company beforehand, and we're speaking from very uneducated. We don't have doctorate degrees from Texas A&M. We just have bachelor's degree, and we made like less than 3.0. But anyway, well, Manny might have made a 3 point or whatever. But anyway, he went through.
I proved you can make multiple C's in college and eke out a decent living, Joe.
That's my story right now. I'm like C. Joe. But anyway, we said that when you think about Principal LED, think about light bulbs. And then Manny said, well, not really light bulbs, but like, modern 2021 type light bulbs. I said, yeah.
Industrial strength.
Industrial strength light bulbs. Like the light bulbs are really bright and they don't use much electricity.
Yeah.
Is that about right?
Well, I mean, really, when you think about it, we sell electrical guts, lights that go. The largest provider of LED lighting to the sign industry.
So I'm thinking to myself, I'm sitting at home and I don't know anything about what you do, and you're saying you sell guts, light bulbs with guts. Wait, what you're trying to say is if you own a Chili's restaurant and you have incandescent bulbs or fluorescent bulbs that are costing you a fortune, you can call on whoever is distributing Principal LED light bulb kits.
Correct.
And you
Principal LED has always been known for anticipating what's coming next, being able to solve a problem before the problem comes up.
Oftentimes the most about, I mean, if you see a sign that says Chick-fil-A, outside you have the script letters, those are little red LED lights in the menu boards. They're backlit with some of our 4000K light strips, a LED fluorescent replacement in the pole signs. So
now you're a very successful example of moving through the entrepreneurial system that San Angelo has been building over the last 20 years. Because I remember, I was in the Concho Valley Center for Entrepreneurial Development. You were there too.
Yeah, we were
like roommates. Yeah, but you had covered like half of the place because you had some big car dealer guy, and I had a small car dealer guy. So I only had like the cubicle, and you were like everywhere. But it was Agilite, right?
That's right.
So this has been kind of like a dream that you've been into the LED science of that for 20 years?
Yeah, right at 20 years. We started in 2003, so this is kind of our 18th year with Principal LED. We've been at it for 11 years. When we started, LEDs were brand new. New technology.
What did San Angelo do for you that you don't think you would have gotten, let's say if you try to start this thing in Boerne, Texas?
Yeah, I mean, I will say this, there's something unique about San Angelo. We have clients from all over the United States. Like I said, we have 70 distributors. We sell to over 4,000, 5,000 sign companies throughout North America. We have clients come see us all the time, and customers. And one of the consistent things we get every time is, man, you guys have the best people. And I know that sounds cliche, but there's something unique about the San Angelo sort of work ethic and mentality.
Crappy water. It's the crappy water.
Yeah, maybe it's the crappy water. Maybe it's just because we're, I don't know what it is, but there's something
I didn't say
unique.
that. I hope Daniel Valenzuela, the city manager, didn't hear me say that. I'm going to be in so much trouble.
Yeah. No,
but the people here, it's kind of like a big city with all the amenities. Like, you used to say we have the university, we have the arts and things like that. But at the same time, we have that small town feel.
That's right. And a small town work ethic, a smaller town mindset. We have great company loyalty, and we're loyal to our employees, and in turn, they're loyal back to us.
What is it, as a leader of a company like that, what in your mind entails loyalty?
Yeah, so, you know, it's like anything. It's like a contract. So, okay, I always say we have a sleep in the car test. If you want to work for Principal LED, if you show that you're willing to sleep in your car for 3 days to get a job, we'll probably hire you. You know,
just 3 days?
Yeah, when you come in at Principal, we have guys that don't have.
Wait, Manny, we have a new rule. New rule. If you want to report, if you want to work for San Angelo Live, you want to write all these great articles.
Yeah, sleep in your car for 3 days.
Sleep in your car in front, but you can't look like a thug because otherwise we might call the cops on you. But anyway.
Yeah. No, it's and you know, it's funny because you know, one thing we really do is we have a mission statement. We exist to simplify the lives of our customers. It doesn't say anything about LEDs, but everyone in our company believes that. We believe that our customers come first, and we believe we're in this together. And, you know, we do some great things for employees. We have great benefits. You know, we pay well. But when we started this company together, you know, ownership and employees believed that we could go out and change our industry. And when you have a purpose like that, everyone works in a different way. And there's a form of, I don't know if it's loyalty, camaraderie, or whatever it is, but it's a secret sauce that's kind of hard to replicate.
So I think that to maintain what you're trying to tell, what you're saying in the higher level, is people need to feel secure that they're going to have a job. I think that's the first thing that employees need. I knew that I needed that when I worked for someone. I wanted to know that I was secure. And once I'm secure, and then I could figure out what I can do to add value.
I mean, here, give you a good example. If you work in our customer service department, you have the authority, as long as it's not over $5,000, to take care of the customer.
Yeah, I have the same rule.
I mean, it's we give them a lot of latitude.
I tell my guys they make a decision, but don't cost me more than $1,000.
Right.
I have a lower level.
But still, it's the same concept. I mean, if you empower your employees and you trust them and you believe in that they're going to do the right thing, like and you're transparent with them.
Even Matt Trammell, I told him one time,
hey, now,
just don't make if you make a big enough mistake, you go ahead and make the decision, but if you make the wrong decision, it costs me more than $1,000, you're in trouble.
Trammell, care to weigh in on that?
Well, all my bad decisions, they don't usually tend to do with money. We just have to lock the doors usually.
You ever read some of these articles?
Yeah, these guys, I don't know.
They think I write them.
Hey,
you know?
You don't keep them on a very tight leash. That's good, Joe.
So do you ever have a situation where an employee does something and they blame you for it? Like all the time?
Yeah, if someone did that, they wouldn't. Well, no,
that
doesn't happen very. I can't say that I've seen that happen, because here's the deal. We really, when we make mistakes, everyone's going to make mistakes.
Right.
And I always say we forgive mistakes of the mind. You know, I mean, but if your heart's in the right place, like, we're not going to fire someone over a mistake. So there's not, if you have that kind of culture, there's no blame to be had. Right. You know, it's just like, okay, what do we need to learn from this? How do we do it better? Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Air Force. You over-G the jet, go debrief it.
Exactly.
And you're an idiot for a couple days until someone else over-Gs the jet.
Right.
Anyway, let's talk a little bit more about San Angelo.
Sure.
You know, you're involved in some other business things that are happening, primarily, I think, in manufacturing, right?
Correct. Yeah. Other business things?
Oh, you want to talk about the other business things?
No, we said in manufacturing.
You know, well, you talked about other like Sharma, which are you involved with that?
Yeah, like just manufacturing.
Bringing other companies here. Do you feel like you're bringing too many companies here? They're going to compete with you for employees?
No.
You don't worry about that?
I don't worry about that.
What about the workflow? You know, everyone talks about how hard it is to find good employees.
If you're a bad employer, it's hard to find good employees. If you're a good employer, it's easy to find good
Anywhere
employees.
Anywhere
you are.
Gotcha.
People, you know, I mean, if you can't hire people, you got to look at yourself.
Right.
You know, what's wrong with me? What's wrong with my culture? What's wrong with my, pay structure? What's wrong with how,
We're going to segue into something that's near and dear to Manny Diaz's heart, Angelo State University.
Yeah.
You have donated a lot of money for the School of Business.
Correct.
Right? It's it's Vincent Norris Vincent?
Norris Vincent College of Business.
All right.
That's right.
And so...
and I never darkened the door of that building when I was an undergraduate.
You never did?
No. I was a chemistry major.
You're a chemistry major? And why didn't you name the chemistry building after yourself?
You know, I'm not qualified to teach chemistry. I don't even know. It's been a long time. I've been in the business world a lot longer than
you had to get the table of chemicals out. And,
I've forgotten.
Yeah, I had to. I had to take 2 semesters of it for engineering, and I think I forgot it back in 1983 when I had my last chemistry class. But anyway,
I hear you.
I think they used the chemistry back then to force you to study.
Correct. It was the weed out, especially at A&M.
Yeah.
It was the weed out class.
Yeah.
Because I know, because when I was there in graduate school, that was the class that they got rid of the people who went to A&M because they thought they wanted to be engineers, and then when they failed freshman chemistry,
it's actually not just engineers.
Different.
We want to be engineers, astronauts, and fighter pilots all at once. Exactly. I learned after one year I didn't want to do that, and I got into agriculture. But anyway, Manny's looking at me real weird. But let's talk a little bit more about the School of Business.
I always look at you weird.
You're looking at me weird over there. What is the School of Business? When you obviously you're involved in a lot of the decisions and stuff. I mean, we've seen the School of Business. We're going to have Dr. Topliff on here a little bit later, but you've seen the School of Business really mature and grow.
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think is going to happen with the economy and all that kind of thing with the School of Business?
What's going to happen with the economy or the School of Business?
With the economy and how it's going to help grow the economy.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm trying to get you to announce something.
Okay, so we'll get to that in a second. I'll talk about high level in the economy.
Okay.
I'll talk about ASU, and then I'll get to your
point. Good.
Okay. How much time do we have, Manny?
We got 5 minutes left.
All right, cool. I can
5 minutes. You better do this 5 minutes, otherwise Manny's going to come over and stomp on us.
So right now, it's an interesting time in the economy. We're in a manic phase because you can't fight the Fed. When they're pumping $4 trillion or whatever it's been in COVID relief, and now another $2 trillion in quote infrastructure, people will spend that money. The market's expecting that people are going to spend that money. So this is kind of like the Christmas party where you went out and drank too much, and then next day you're going to wake up and say, "Wow, what did we just do?" I think for the short term, I think rates are going to stay low, which will be good for the economy for a while. There will be a flashpoint. I don't know when. Last month the Fed issued some 7-year Treasury bonds, and no one wanted them, and it kind of made a flashpoint where people said, "Whoa, does this mean inflation?"
And that's what kept making the rates of the bonds go up and the stock market go down, and everyone to lose money in the stock market.
Yeah, I mean, the fact of the matter is, here's the elephant is really this. We raise about $3.9 trillion in $3.5 trillion, whatever it is, in revenues every year, and we spend about $4.5 trillion, $3 trillion of which is mandatory spending.
Right.
What you call
and
mandatory.
You're talking about the federal government.
Federal government, yeah. So basically, you're talking Medicare, Social Security, unemployment,
and better.
$800 million worth, $700 million for the military.
No, veterans benefits are a big part of it.
Yeah. So that combined, you're looking at $3.7 trillion. We only raised $3.5 trillion. The tax increases are going to create $2 trillion over 10 years, another 200. You're still deficit spending if you did no discretionary spending. So at some point we're going to have to address this sooner rather than later. And how we address it, I'll leave that up to the experts. In the short term, I think the economy stays good. Markets stay good. There's a lot of money will be flowing in nationwide. And I think Texas in particular is going to be a benefit.
When do you think the hangover is going to happen?
Well, I could tell you what I think, but I mean, every economist will tell you something different. I think it's 2024.
You think it's going to be that far
2023 maybe.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. I mean, they'll take some time for all this money to flow through the system.
Go buy your brand new truck soon.
I don't know. I mean, if I could predict that.
Ford.
Yeah. There you go.
Did you just mention Jim Bass Ford?
Yes,
Jim Bass Ford. That's where
Jim Bass Ford.
We like Jim Bass Ford.
Yeah, we love Jim Bass Ford. Hi, Todd Price.
Okay, so ASU College of Business.
Okay, College of Business.
They're really getting the big thing is getting their certification. They're a different form in the highest level of accreditation. That should be done almost any time, imminently. I don't know if it's this year or before the end of the year. It should be complete. That's going to help continued growth there. We're seeing a lot of interest in the Free Market Institute, which was funded by, I believe, Matt Matthews. I know Scott Wisniewski's given some money for entrepreneurship and to help grow that, and some other parts of the department. So, we've had a lot of really good resources come in to really encourage young business people and really attract really good faculty. The newest thing is under the guise of the business department will be the aviation program.
And this is something we had a story on Monday on San Angelo Live. We're going to teach airline pilots at Angelo State.
Yeah. So really, we were approached, a group of us, my brother and.
Oh, you're the secret donor of the simulators?
No, but what we are.
You're not the secret donor?
There is a secret donor. I guess. I just learned that from your report. Maybe ask Don.
You told me about the secret donor was Brian Vincent.
It's really me. I'll take it. I'll take it.
But there's a need. I mean, if the program grows, the programs you need 10 or 12 trainer planes.
Right.
So we started looking at that and looking at how we could help. And so as of today, actually, we just closed on it. There's a group of 4 of us who purchased Skyline Aviation. So
and Skyline Aviation is one of the 2 fixed base operators at Mathis Field.
Correct. And they have a Part 141 flight school.
And that's FAA rules. Part 141, meaning that they're legal to teach people how to be pilots.
Correct.
Right?
Correct. So we're excited about that.
Don't worry about Manny. He'll be over here to stomp on us in a second.
We think there's, I don't know. I'm not an expert on FBOs, but we feel like that area is going to, the flight and aviation area in San Angelo.
Are you going to install LED lights on the Skyline Aviation sign?
That's highly likely. I bet we can do that. But we're excited. We think we want to make sure that on the fuel side that the community gets fair fuel prices.
When you say fuel price, that means for airplanes.
For airplanes, yeah. I mean, obviously, we want to be competitive with Abilene. We want to be competitive with other areas. So
what about Schleicher County?
Yeah, they don't offer a lot of services over there, so we got to pay for a little overhead here. But yeah, I mean, we want to be more competitive. I think that's the general consensus. And then, most importantly, we want to have a top-notch flight school that we can attract students from all over the state to come here and get pilot training.
We're breaking news here for a second. So can you give me another 3 minutes? All right, so what happened here is Angelo State University needed airplanes and instructor pilots to be able to teach their students to get the CFII and the CFI and the per commercial and all this tickets. I think there's like 5 tickets they're going to get.
That's correct.
Which is they're very difficult to get. It takes about 250 hours to get all
and Scott Turner is going to be heading up that program.
Is he? Okay, Scott Turner, and he was with Time Clock Plus?
Time Clock Plus.
Yeah, okay. So they, but in order to do that, Angelo State either had to buy a bunch of airplanes and maintain them and stuff, and universities aren't set up to do that very well.
Right, especially for a brand new program.
Right. And so what you're going to do is you're going to, I guess, they're going to outsource that part.
The flight training portion to Skyline.
Right.
So Skyline will, and we're finalizing that with the university. It still, of course, has to be approved by the board of directors.
So you bought this thing without getting approved on the ASU deal?
What
kind of business guy is this?
Yeah, I know, really. Exactly. And the idea is not to go in and have this as being a huge venture. My number one interest is I love ASU. My grandfather was the president there for 27 years. I love the business department and proud of what we've been able to do there. And what, Clifton Jones, now, he's vice provost now, who was the dean of the business school, really has done a great job.
He did a great job.
And Andy Tiger's going to be doing it will just continue right along. He's the interim dean there. And I just, we feel like that this would be a way to continue supporting the university and support the city, quite frankly, because as people stop in here, they spend money. Students that come to the university are obviously spend money in the community. Their parents come in and see them and eat and stay at hotels. So, we think, an additional 60 students, maybe in the next 5 years, 60 or 70 students specifically in that program would be a nice goal to set.
Plus, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a pretty cool thing. And the last thing is, you listen to a lot of the city leaders, they'll talk about how much airspace we have here. It's not even been used.
Right.
I mean, it's very uncrowded here.
It's a great, and we have 300. I mean, if you want to come get flight training, you can go to Liberty University up in Lynchburg, but are you going to have 300 plus sunny days a year to go fly?
Right.
No, no way.
Yeah, the weather's
San Angelo has great weather for that.
All right, so you heard it here first with breaking news on the Boomtown San Angelo, I want to say podcast, but this is the live stream. And, you know, Manny is he's over there, he's telling me that I got to go to the, we got to go to the giveaway desk.
Yeah, we got to pay some bills around here.
All right.
I know these people are begging for me.
Yeah.
They're saying, be quiet, Joe. We're tired of hearing this.
Yeah, well, thanks for having me. We love San Angelo. We're proud to be here in the community. And, you know, those of you who want to see me on Facebook, you can't, but you can say hi to my wife at Principal Travel. I give her a plug.
Hey, we're going to go to the commercial break.
Yes, sir. Commercial break here with Strike It Rich Bingo.
With payouts on average of $10,000 in prizes every day, the question is, why haven't you made it over to Strike It Rich Bingo? Play on paper for as low as $1 or electronically for as low as $20. So what are you waiting for? Strike It Rich Bingo, located at 1500 North Chadwick.
Oh, it's playing.
Now you're back.
All right, we're back. And we have some winners. We have 3 30-minute sessions in the sports simulator at Next Level to give away. So I asked for your numbers, and you gave it to us. And the winners are Brian Wuthrich, Karen Juarez, and Betty Sanchez. Those are the winners for 3 30-minute sessions in the sports Next Level sports simulator. And if you haven't been in it, it's so much fun. So enjoy that. The next one's going to be for Isaac Farmer's Insurance Agency. They're going to be giving away 2 Target gift cards and a Starbucks gift card. So you know, everyone loves Target. Everyone loves Starbucks. So give me your numbers 0 through 60. As soon as the numbers are done, that's when the numbers are due. So remember, if you don't like the winners, blame the hopper. Here we go.
Hey, wait, before you, you're drawing the numbers.
Yeah, we got numbers. There's number 2, and all right.
You guys ought to see what he's pulling numbers out of. It's hilarious.
Here we go. Number 51, number 47, and number 56. So those are the 3 numbers. And remember, the first 2 will win a Target gift card, and the last one will win a Starbucks gift card, courtesy of Isaac Farmer's Insurance Agency. And remember, we still have tons more to give away. And the next one you're going to want to stay tuned for. It's going to be a Concho Pearl Sterling Silver Texas necklace. So stay tuned for that one, because that one's going to be a big one.
And don't forget about the hat.
Oh, and Michael Looney blessed us with those hats.
Yeah.
We're going to have those San Angelo, Texas, San Angelo Chamber of
Maybe we ought to have
hats.
people like post photos of their head to see if the hat would fit.
Oh my gosh!
What do you think?
Easy.
What do you think?
We won't make you post pictures of your head, but we will get the winners to y'all in just a few seconds. So back to you.
Anybody who wants to go but that is looking for a home, or maybe you just want to look to dream. So maybe you're thinking about building a home in the future. This is a great way to see hands-on what these builders can do, what their subs are like. This is a great chance to see the new trends and what's out and what's the latest and greatest.
Well, welcome back. Joe Hyde once again with San Angelo Live, and I'm with one of the head guys at Angelo State University, and it's Dr. Don Topliff.
Close enough.
Close enough. You're the provost and the director of academic affairs.
Provost and vice president.
Vice president
for academic affairs.
I need, I came.
So you know what provost means?
No, I have no
Nobody
idea.
does.
What does provost mean?
It's actually a derivation of a French word, and it means
it's French.
Lieutenant.
Oh, so you're just a lieutenant.
So number 2, the second guy in command. So
a lieutenant's like number 6.
Well, that's only in the military.
Yeah, that's when I got into from the military and got into corporate America, you have the manager, then the director, then the vice president. So I apologize for calling you a director.
It's okay.
Yeah.
You know what titles are? They're just a word. Yeah, that's right, exactly.
But the reason we wanted to talk to you on an economic development show is that one of the things I learned through my many readings, my much reading I do. There's a book I read, and it talked about how Americans are going to be moving to what they call the exurbs, which are away from the suburbs, away from the outer side. These, what they call them, the purple circles around the big metro areas, out to places like San Angelo, or even like Lubbock, where you have the basic services like the health care and you have the arts, and you have have water, that kind of thing. But also you have a university, because the university brings a lot of value that you don't really, I guess, you don't really quantify. Because everyone thinks of Angelo State University, how many students they got enrolled there. That's the first thing. How's their football team doing? What league do they even play in? Those kinds of things. Tell me a little bit about Angelo State University over the last 10 years and how it's grown.
Yeah, the last 10 years have been really an interesting time for Angelo State University. Obviously, moving to the Texas Tech University system was a huge thing from a lot of different standpoints. I won't go into all of it, but it was very beneficial to ASU. And then several things have happened, particularly in the last 6 years. One of those is that we decided to get into the dual credit market with high schools.
Mm-hmm.
And we began that with about 4, actually we started with Mason High School was our very first one. And then we went on to several others, and now we provide dual credit to everywhere from Stephenville, Glen Rose High School,
mm-hmm.
to Friendship High School in Lubbock, to Del Rio, and so we're pretty big in dual credit.
The dual credit product, I guess you'd call it a product, right?
Yeah.
I guess in response to how much it costs to send a kid to college today. I mean, it costs a fortune. So if you can get most of that,
well, we think it's a good value, but yes,
it's a fortune. You have, I mean, I'm sure you've sent kids to college.
Absolutely, I have.
Is it not a fortune?
It's.
Can you sympathize?
I can sympathize. I can sympathize.
But if you get a lot of the courses done, how much earlier can we graduate our students, or are we?
Well, we definitely are now. Not across the board, but I would say that it's getting to the point now where our average freshman comes in with about 30 semester credit hours out of the 120 that it takes to graduate. So they really are coming in as a sophomore, mm-hmm. As opposed to a new first-time full-time freshman, and some of them even more than that. We've had a handful of students, I'd say less than 10, but still a significant number graduate from ASU in 2 years.
Wow.
So they came here with 60 or plus hours, 2 years, and they're on down the road. And that's a trend that's going to continue. We have a thing in Texas called an early college high school.
Mm-hmm.
They're not everywhere, but there are a number of them. And in those schools, those early college high schools, when a student graduates with their high school degree, they also have an associate's degree. So they've already got 60 hours towards a 120-hour bachelor's degree. That is going to continue to accelerate, and a cost is a driver. There's no doubt about that.
Angelo State University is pivotal in creating, I guess, what you call the higher end, the skilled labor force, managerial class force, things like that.
Engineers,
and also medical. I mean, you started out being a leader in the nursing program.
That's correct, and we still are one of the leaders.
So how has the nursing program impacted West Texas?
Well, there's no secret that nurses are in shortage,
mm-hmm.
and we're producing a significant number of nurses for this need every year, and in fact, we continue to look for ways to increase the number of nurses that we can turn out. And we're limited to a degree by the accrediting bodies for nursing. You can't just, we couldn't expand it to 500 that we're graduating every year. We would not be able to do that.
Because you couldn't maintain the standard for the accreditation?
Standards for accreditation and that type of thing. And the cost as well,
mm-hmm.
because one part of the standards is you can only have so many students per faculty member.
Gotcha.
And so we're limited by that.
I bet you a lot of the inner city schools wish that you had these standards where you had to have so many pupils per teacher, but I bet you they...
Yeah, that's a whole other story.
Yeah. Joe, we do have a question here.
Okay.
This comes from Christian Garcia. He asked a question earlier. Dr. Topliff, do you have any data on how many ASU students are staying in San Angelo after graduation? Is that something that you have off the top of your head?
That's
or
a
something
big topic.
similar to that?
That's a big topic. Why do people not stay here?
So let me start with nursing. Actually, a significant number of our nursing students actually go to work at Shannon. So, and that trend is accelerated. We have a number of them that, particularly out of our education program, that teach in the schools here in San Angelo. I couldn't tell you what proportion of those students actually stay, but it's a significant portion.
What about, that's like nursing, education. What about, like, we have new programs like civil engineering,
right,
and mechanical engineering.
Yep.
And what are the needs of that around here right now?
Well, and that's one of the reasons that we started with civil engineering first. We've now graduated 40-something students out of that program.
Are they all working for Reese Albert?
No, but there are at least 2 that I'm aware of.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So, yeah. Because Reese Albert's one of the major contractors based here in San Angelo, right. So they need civil engineers.
So, but a significant number of those 40 are still in this region. They might not be in San Angelo, but they're still in the West Texas region, and that was one of the selling points that we had with the coordinating board to allow us to start the engineering program. Is look, we said, look, there's a need for engineers that will stay in West Texas. You know, our engineering firms tell us we can hire a kid that graduated from one of the flagships downstate. I won't name them, but you know, they come out here and they stay 6 months.
The one that can't, you mean they're like the ones that can't sing their home fight song?
Could be. I don't know.
We have to have humor on the Boomtown show.
We do. But I'm not taking the bait on that one. Sorry. But you know, they tell us that we hire them, we bring them out here, we get them kind of in our business and get them working, and then they want to go back to Dallas, or they want to go back to Austin, or they want to go back to College Station. Mm-hmm. And it's a real problem for our engineering firm. So that was one of the ways that we sold that program to the coordinating board.
Do you think it's working?
Oh, it's absolutely working.
Okay. Mechanical engineering. Where is the need for, give me an example of a need out here for mechanical engineers.
Well, the line between civil and mechanical it's a kind of a blurry line.
Right.
But even in companies, well, take AFCO Hirschfield division, mm-hmm. They have a need for mechanical engineers. Mm-hmm. Believe it or not, the petroleum industry even hires a significant number of mechanical engineers. You think of petroleum engineers, but really there's probably more mechanical engineers working in the oil patch, even though that's kind of slow right now. But you know, so there's a need for mechanical as well.
All right, so you looked at local needs for probably nursing, education, mechanical engineering, civil engineering. What the heck got into your mind to start an aviation school where you're going to teach people how to be pilots?
Well, again, some of it's need. According to the statistics from Boeing, 40% of all of the airline transport pilots will be forced to retire in the next 4 to 5 years, mm-hmm. actually 3 to 4 years now. Once you turn 65, you can no longer fly for the airlines. So that's a need there. And even though the airline industry slowed down considerably at the beginning of COVID, we're already seeing that it is picking back up, and right. There's a shortage of pilots. The other thing is that we made a trip to Delta State University in Mississippi, mm-hmm. in Cleveland, Mississippi, and
that's right there in the middle of the Delta.
It is in the middle of the Delta, but it's also in the middle of FedEx and UPS, right. and some of those entities. And so Delta State's had an aviation program since back in the early 80s, 83 I think is when they actually started it. So, and they're a university of similar size to us. Mm-hmm. And so we went and looked at their program, and then based on the need, and then based on the fact that one of the things a lot of people don't understand is we've got airspace out here.
Right, and good weather.
And good weather. And I was talking to a flight instructor the other day that came here from Wisconsin. He said, you know, if I could train for 5 to 6 months out of the year, I was lucky. And here we have 300 days plus of flyable weather, and we have airspace. Whereas some of the flight schools in places like Phoenix,
the Embry-Riddle schools,
the Embry-Riddle, If you go to Laterno in East Texas, they're fighting with the airline traffic into DFW or into Phoenix.
We just have to fight with the drones here. The Border Patrol flies with drones here.
Yeah.
So,
but that's okay. You know, there's going to be a need for drone pilots too, and well, that's something that.
As a pilot,
I know.
I'm not a drone pilot.
I know.
I don't mean.
I got a pilot's license.
I don't want to be mean to drone people, but I don't know. There's something
easy
easy on the drone people. Oh, Manny flies a drone with a camera on it.
Yeah, it's not the same as flying an airplane. It's just not.
Well, so you're starting in the spring, or I'm starting in the fall. You're starting in the fall. So your first classes. Have you signed up anyone? Have anyone called in?
So I had 3 emails today from prospective students.
Well,
so we're pretty confident we're going to have between 7 and 10 in this first class, and then it'll go up from there. Because we've done no advertising other than 2 or 3 press releases, and that's it. And part of the reason we haven't advertised is because getting all of the approvals from all the way from our local curriculum committee on campus to the Board of Regents, and then with the Texas Higher Education Coordinating Board, and then SAC-COC, which is our regional accrediting agency from the Department of Education. That just takes a lot of time, and we cannot actively enroll students until we have those approvals all the way up the line.
So a little bit of risk there, but you're fairly confident that you're going to be able to start in the fall.
I'm very confident.
You're very confident?
Yeah.
Joe, we have one more question.
Okay.
This is a great question here. What's the vision for Angelo State University 5, 10, 20 years from now? 20,000 students, Division I status? A bigger university could provide more opportunity for San Angelo. How do we get there?
Are you going to join the SEC? That's what you're saying.
Yes.
Okay, that one I can answer. No.
We're not going to join the SEC?
No.
Guys, the competition's too tough, isn't it?
Well, yeah, it's pretty tough. It's pretty tough, although Gonzaga's kind of making them look a little bit silly.
Hey, well, before you go into the answer to that question, there is a difference between, I went to A&M, and a lot of people here went to A&M or UT. When we went there in the 80s, A&M was a teaching university.
That's right.
And kind of talk about how it's transformed there and what ASU has done to fill the gap.
Yeah. So, in a regional university of our size, and I'll get to the question here in a little bit, but in a regional university our size, teaching is the most important thing that we do. Our faculty do research, we do service, we do all those things, but as opposed to one of the flagships like A&M or UT, where a new first-time full-time freshman is probably not going to see a faculty member till they're a junior or a senior. They're going to see graduate students teaching them, and so because those higher level faculty are so tied up in research,
and that's where the money is for these big universities.
It is
research.
Because there's a little thing called overhead on all these grants. Say a little thing. So most federal grants will have somewhere around 40 to 45% overhead on them, and that overhead is what the university charges to manage that grant.
Right.
So on $1 million grant, 420,000 of it might go to the university. So that's why it's so important to them.
So the A&Ms, the UTs, maybe even somewhat the Techs, Texas Tech?
Tech is moving that way,
so
yes.
They're recruiting, like A&M has an entire area where they have biomedical companies that are on campus.
That's right, yeah.
And they're recruiting, they're doing a lot of research, and they're not spending a whole lot of time. Like, we probably don't have the same chemistry program that you had for freshmen at A&M today.
No.
So ASU...
We focus on teaching.
So when you hire professors, you're looking for a teacher.
What I tell them is, if you love teaching, you're going to love it here. If you don't love teaching, don't come here.
I got you.
It's really pretty simple.
How long do you think a school like ASU is going to be able to stay? I'm going to get into the question. How long can ASU stay a teaching university where you're actually focused on teaching the students?
That's a great question. Let me answer where we view ourselves in 5 years, 10 years on down the road. Matter of fact, we're working on mission and vision statements today and asking those very questions. But we're going to continue to grow, and we'll grow in a couple of different ways. Number one, reputationally, we are gaining on a lot of institutions because of our reputation as a teaching institution.
Right.
And then also because when you look at what's happening at the flagships, they're becoming more and more restrictive in who they will even let in. So like, for example, UT right now, for automatic admission into UT, you got to be in the top 6% of your graduating class.
Which means you got to have like not a 4.0 perfect, you got to have like a 6.2.
Yeah. And if you're in a small rural school, if you've got 10 kids in your graduating class, you can't be you got to be the valedictorian to be in the top 6%.
Right.
The salutatorian is only in the top 10%. They don't have automatic admission.
Right.
So that is going to help us continue to grow. Dual credit in these early college high schools, we are actively recruiting high schools right now for that and having pretty good success. As a matter of fact.
So when a kid gets dual credit classes like at Central High School, do you feel like he's more inclined to stay here in San Angelo and go attend ASU? Do you think that's a good recruiting tool?
It has helped us in recruiting. We probably have not leveraged that as much as we probably are going to, but yeah, it certainly helps.
Okay. So the next answer is going to be more aggressive in recruiting high school seniors into
exactly.
ASU. Okay. What else in 10 years? In 10 years, what do you see ASU at? Of course, you'll be probably retired by then, along with me.
I hope so. I hope so.
Who will be in charge? Man, who are they going to put in charge in 10 years? Anyway, we don't know.
That's not in my job jar to figure that out. So anyway, but we're going to continue to grow. We have to. We understand the need for educational opportunities in this region of Texas. We're a Hispanic serving institution. We're 42% Hispanic students, about 6.5% African Americans, about 3.5% multiracial. So we're actually already a majority minority institution. But we're going to continue to do that because I have a saying that I talk to faculty about all the time, that we are in the business of changing family trees.
Right.
And that's why teaching is so important.
Because an education is the great unequalizer or equalizer. It's not.
It is the road to changing your family tree.
Right. Gotcha. Family trees. Manny, are there any more questions or anything?
That is it. That is it. Man,
well,
it's been a great segment here.
Yeah, it's been good. I mean, very unique for, you think of economic development. You say, and they're saying, Joe, what do you think you're going to bring the provost from ASU on the show? I said, this guy is going to talk about economic development.
Real deal, baby.
Yeah. Well, we understand that we're an economic development engine for this region. I mean, when you look at not only the students we're turning out, but our payroll is pretty big.
Yeah, and payroll is significant to a community. I learned this in the Air Force. The payroll is regenerated 6 times.
That's right.
So when you look at I'm not going to say a low-level teacher at ASU makes what, $80,000 or $100,000 or whatever.
Well, not quite that good, but
I'm trying to help you with recruiting. Okay. Maybe let's just say an ASU doctorate makes $100,000. You multiply that by 6. It's $600,000 impact
in the
local economy. In the local economy. Well, Dr. Don Totliff, thank you very much.
Well, thank you for having me. I've enjoyed it. I'd sit here and talk about this all night.
We might bring you back. We might have an education show.
I know. Well, I think we're going to have to add it. In the meantime, let's pay some bills before we get over to the Strike It Rich Bingo Trammel giveaway desk.
I-17.
With payouts on average of $10,000 in prizes every day, the question is, why haven't you made it over to Strike It Rich Bingo? Play on paper for as low as $1 or electronically for as low as $20. So what are you waiting for? Strike It Rich Bingo, located at 1500 North Chadwick.
All right, we're back. We're at the Strike It Rich Bingo giveaway desk. We've already given away tons of prizes. Now here's a real big one we're about to give away. So get ready, get your numbers, try to think of them, 0 through 60. Try to think of one of your numbers. Okay, it's going to be a Concho Pearl Sterling Silver Texas necklace. So go ahead and start spilling your numbers out there. Go ahead and get them out. Here's the winners from last time. There was Lisa White and Pepe Perrier. They won the
What did I promise we were going to talk about?
Target gift cards, and then Devin Foster won the Starbucks gift card. So that was the winner of the last ones, and we have only one drawing this time, and it's for the Concho Pearl Sterling Silver Texas necklace, courtesy of Kohl's Diamond and Design. So let's go ahead and spin them up. Get your numbers going. Get your numbers going. Here it is.
Trammell, while you're at it, you want to show people what you're drawing
I thought they could say. I think they could see it. We got a little Striker Rich bingo hopper right here. That's what I'm talking about.
Isn't that the cutest thing?
Yeah, hey, it's high-tech stuff. Hey, although it doesn't matter because number 4 is going to win a Concho Pearl Sterling Silver Texas necklace. So number 4 we'll announce the winner next time. Back to you guys.
Hey, wait, don't go back yet. When are
back
you going to give away the Michael Looney hats?
They're
coming up.
People want the hats.
Hey, Michael Looney can't just come on the show and skip the line.
Oh, okay.
Skip the line.
Even with the San Angelo, Texas
he
hat?
has some swag.
I'm just joking. We'll get to the Chamber of Commerce hats, but before that,
They're not Chamber of Commerce hats.
Are.
They're San Angelo,
That's
Texas
the Chamber
hats.
of Commerce logo.
Well, it's also, the city co-opted it.
Yeah. All right, back to you guys.
All right, thank you, Trammell. In the meantime, we're gonna go to one of our local businesses that's making a true impact in our community.
This here is our bean from Guatemala. It's called Huehue Tenango. It's got a chocolatey flavor to it. We use it in all of our blends.
It all started back, I'm a retired Air Force, so we were up in Washington State, and I met a guy with a roaster up there, and it just interested us, so we started roasting on our own, just doing it for family and friends. Got into Farmers Market is where our big start was, and from our Farmers Market we went to Green's Grocery, into Market Street, and both Pinkies here in town. So it was a hobby that blew up on us. Set your mind to it, you can do anything.
Yeah. And grab your day by the horns and get moving with Longhorn Coffee. Hi, I'm Lori Deckers. This is my husband Scott, and we are the owners of Longhorn Coffee Company in San Angelo, Texas. Well, I think our uniqueness comes from taking the green coffee beans, putting them through the roasting process, splitting that off into the K-cupping process, the grinding process, the blending process. I think it's real interesting to see that come from just a bag of green coffee beans all the way to our cafe here as people drink it. So.
And everything is the Western Texas with the Longhorn, the snake bite. We name our coffees after rivers and counties for Texas, And that's, a lot of people really like that when they come up here visiting. We use beans from Walker Trading down in Houston. They get them from all over the world, but we use beans from Ethiopia, Guatemala, Indonesia, Vietnam, and those are the basis of all of our blends. Those have the most flavor and the strongest profile that we wanted to use for blending, and they just seem to work out really good. The Robusta bean is a very high caffeine. That's what we use in our snakebite and our venom, along with other beans for flavoring. And in our blends, we use powdered spices for flavoring rather than oils, because of the properties of the oils, and the powdered spices are a lot more healthy for you. My big thing is to be able to look out the window and look at Fort Concho. It's right there. And
he's a history buff, so it is huge. It really is. I think too, our little neighborhood, I tell you what, there are people that surround this building, that live around this building, and they are our regular customers. If we would have started in any other city, I don't think we would have been nearly as successful as we are. San Angelo has embraced us, so it's just been amazing the response that we get from San Angelo people, our local people, sending it really all over the country to get our name out there and expose it to their family and friends. We will be forever grateful to the city of San Angelo and the people for the way that they have embraced our company.
Hello, and we're back. I'm Joe Hyde with San Angelo Live, and we have Mr. Daniel Valenzuela, the most powerful man in San Angelo, but he won't admit it.
No, I won't.
But you're the city manager,
Yes.
and one of the things from reporting the news that I know, that everything that happens in San Angelo gets blamed on the city. If the school district catches on, one of the schools in the school district catches on fire, it's not the school district's fault, it's the city's fault.
There's a lot of truth in that, Joe. Appreciate
If something happens out in the county, like there's a big plume of smoke, why is the city allowing that farmer to have a controlled burn on this field? You get blamed for everything.
You got to figure it out, Joe. We appreciate that.
I did figure it out, and it's really good for the news business just to kind of keep that going, because
Yes.
it just generates clicks. Everyone accuses me of clicks, but
there you go.
but the reason why we wanted to have you on an economic development program was because, seriously, what the city does, there's so much that the city and the municipality, and that's the city of San Angelo, does that is important to build the framework for entrepreneurs to go and build things like LED lights, or build a little indie news operation like this, or things like that. Like, for example, for us, you have the public affairs office, right?
That's right.
For concert promoters, you have probably 9 big venues.
That's right.
Including the Coliseum, the River Stage. But the biggest thing is, if you don't have a plentiful supply of water, you can't grow anything. There's a limit to how many people can live based on how much water you have.
That is correct, and that's one of the biggest things that I was charged with when I first got here back in 2012. As a matter of fact,
wait, you've been here since 2012?
2012, yeah.
In Texas, for a city manager to last more than a year and a half is like an act of God.
There's been a lot of movement in city managers, so yeah, I've been here about 8.5 years. But yeah, even before I showed up here, I started getting calls when I was in Eagle Pass as a city manager, and it was announced here that I was the new city manager in San Angelo. It's quite a blessing, but one of the first questions I started getting, emails started coming in, what are you going to do about the water situation? We're in need of water. Of course, that's when we had the big drought. We had like 11 months water supply. So that was a major issue. And
when you say there's 11 months supply, that means if we got no rain for 11 more months, then we were going to be dry.
That is correct.
You couldn't take a shower.
Yeah, and that's right. So
that's the upper plane and the lower plane.
That's right. Yes, so that is correct. Thank you for pointing that out. So that's the issue. And yes, you're absolutely right. We cannot have. You talk about economic development. We cannot have it without water, and that's one of the biggest areas that we started focusing on. Myself, staff, of course, our mayor and city manager and city council started pushing very strongly toward that and making sure that we could secure the water that we needed. And we've been working very diligently at that. And we're at a point right now with all the different projects that we have going on to include increasing the capacity of what we can bring in on the Hickory Aquifer by another 4 million gallons per day. We talk about the Concho River Water Supply Project. That's a project that will bring in another 7.5 million gallons per day. So you're seeing.
So you're going a little fast on all these projects.
Sure.
Okay, so I'm going to try to slow it down a little bit and kind of explain. Our primary water source right now, the way we get water, the physically way we get the water is we have a bunch of pipes that pipe it in from Lake Ivy, right?
That's correct.
And Lake Ivy is fed some of this water from the Concho River.
That
so
is
we
right.
let it all go down, all come down the Concho River, and then it goes to Lake Ivy, which is, I don't know, 30, 40 miles away as the airplane flies, and then we pump it all the way back. So explain that and how that works.
Well, we do have an arrangement through the Concho, oh my goodness, I'm forgetting the name of the
Colorado River.
Yeah. So anyway, so we have an arrangement of the different cities to include Abilene, Midland, Odessa, and also, of course, San Angelo. We do have an arrangement for a certain allotment of water that we do receive from the Hickory. I mean, not from the Hickory, from Lake Ivy. So we do pipe that in through an arrangement that we have, and that's our water. A certain percentage of the water we do receive is our base water that we use. Basically, what we average out is about 12 million gallons per day that we use from the Hickory. So that's our primary source.
So you could probably run day to day, normal day off of Ivy and not have to worry about anything.
You could.
But it's going to cap you out at about 12 million gallons per day.
That is correct, and even less than that. You know, whenever it doesn't rain, of course it's a surface water.
So it evaporates.
That's right, it evaporates. So the issue is when it doesn't rain, that's when we end up with a situation that we had back in 2011 and 2012. We weren't diversifying our water supply. We had the surface water. And what we needed was multiple sources of water, which would be groundwater, which would be direct use potable water. I mean, just the different sources that you can pull up. We started looking at, okay, let's diversify that. It's not just have the surface water, but we need groundwater. Of course, we're getting that now.
And when you say groundwater, that means water that's under the ground that doesn't evaporate.
That's correct. So that's the example of the Hickory water.
Yeah,
so that's
coming out of wells.
That is correct.
Right.
So we have that. We already have the surface water. We have groundwater. So now we're looking at the Concho River water supply.
When you say you have groundwater, we have a Hickory aquifer. We have 60 miles of pipe that pipe it in
63
here.
miles, huh?
And we have we have 2 water treatment plants. People don't know this. If they don't follow the news, they won't know. We actually have 2 separate plants down
That is correct.
And that's redundancy. And I guess the reason why we have 2 plants is the plant coming off of the Hickory cleans out the radium from the water.
That is correct.
Which everyone in Brady is radioactive, right? Because they drink the same water.
Well, we do clean that from our water, of course. You know, so we also know that we have we start looking at future projects. And I'm glad you mentioned as far as treating water. That's something that we'll have to plan for. That we are planning for.
Oh, don't tell me you're going to spend money on a water treatment plant.
Well, you know, we have a water treatment plant at this point that there's parts of it that are over 100 years old, right?
Yeah, 1920.
So, that's right.
Yeah.
So on our end, we want to make sure that we update that. And as we start bringing in more water into our system, it has to be treated.
So what you can look at is you have 2 separate plants right now because you have your groundwater water treatment plant, and you have your surface water treatment plant. I'm simplifying it.
That's correct.
But now you bring in another water. You have another water source with this West Texas Water Partnership, right?
That is correct. So the West Texas Water Partnership has been a deal that we've been doing for almost a decade now, almost 10 years now, and it's in partnership with Abilene and Midland. And
Abilene and Midland have the same problems that we do.
But they do, and everybody's tackling their own water situations. And of course, Midland and Abilene realized, along with San Angelo, and back then, it was then Mayor New, Alvin New, when he was here, was kind of the one to kind of organize the West Texas Water Partnership and got that going. And after he left, we continued on with that.
And that partnership, what you do is you have periodic meetings and you share resources to hire attorneys and things like that.
We do. If we were to do it on our own, it costs us so much more money. So you have economies of scale, of course, when you start looking at 2 other cities that go in it with you. And that's exactly what we're doing with Midland and in Abilene at this point.
So you've procured another source through the West Texas?
We have at this point, and for the city of San Angelo, that comes out to about 5,000 acre-feet of water. Additionally, when you start looking at all the other projects that I talked about, those projects right now, not including the water from the West Texas Water Partnership, gets us about a 50-year water supply. Now with the addition of this other water source, it could give us up to 75 years or even longer than that.
How does that compare to like Austin or San Antonio or Houston as far as water supply?
You know, a lot of cities, and I couldn't tell you the exact number for those cities, but a lot of cities are well below the number of years. Everybody's always constantly looking for a water supply. The bigger cities especially, because they tend to grow faster and they need more water, they consume more water. So they're constantly looking for water. As a matter of fact, the 3 cities, when we're looking for our water, we're competing with some of those bigger cities.
You're competing with San Antonio.
Absolutely, and we couldn't do it just San Angelo alone.
Right.
But you throw Midland in there, you throw Abilene in there, and all of a sudden now we have a little bit more strength there.
All right, I'm going to try to summarize this to maybe figure out what this is right. You tell me if I'm right.
Okay.
We have right now we have 3 sources of water. One's under development. We have the groundwater from the Hickory, and we have the surface water from Ivy and other lakes.
Yes,
obviously.
absolutely.
And then we have this third water partnership, and the 3 together is going to give us 70 years worth of water.
That is correct. Anywhere between 70, 75 years and beyond that. So again, that's a pretty good source of water. And we know that as the years go on, the technology improves. You know, so we don't know what technology will be available 10, 15, 20 years
All
from
right.
now.
A lot of people complain about the cost of the hickory. That's all I've heard for the last 10 years. You know, we spent $121 million on the hickory water pipes and all those pumps. And of course, now we've actually built more wells down there.
That is correct.
We've enhanced the capacity.
We haven't started building the wells yet, but yeah, we're looking at 5 more wells that increase the capacity from 8 million to 12 million.
So basically, we'd have 2 12 million gallon per day supplies that are available. I wonder if people know the redundancy that provided the city during this last emergency.
You know, that's a good point, Joe, because when we had the winter storm that came in, of course.
The winter storm froze everything, and every town in Texas had no water.
That is right, and we knew about the electrical power. Actually, we lost electricity to the Hickory Aquifer, and so we couldn't pump water to San Angelo. We had to work with the service provider to prioritize the Hickory Aquifer to get that electricity turned back on. And the issue with us, because that turned off, we had power, as far as the pressure was reduced to our whole system. We needed to restore the pressure to the system. If it hadn't been for the Hickory Aquifer, we had to pull additional million gallons through the system, up to 28 million gallons per day that we're pushing through the system just to repressurize it, to fill up the tanks.
So if you didn't have the hickory pumping, there's no way you could have repressurized the system.
We would have been in a very serious situation at that point. So absolutely, the redundancy helped us tremendously. And I'm glad, you know, I don't know what we would have done without the Hickory Aquifer. And I'm
so glad. That's one time when that you know, when they first opened, they said, well, we're pumping about 1 million gallons a day or whatever, just to keep it lubricated,
That's right, that's right.
So the first time you used that really expensive water treatment plant for the radium there was during the winter storm, when it really showed that it was worth the investment.
And it showed the value, absolutely. Again, we counted our blessings, and we're very thankful that we had that supply of water available for us.
So we're going to have a lot of water in San Angelo, Texas. So if you're seeing this in Houston and you're tired of wearing a mask, come on out to San Angelo. But you still have to wear a mask. I'm with the city guy here. Anyway. But anyway, I'm going to segue a little bit. If someone is moving here from Houston, we have a little bit of a housing problem. So talk to me a little bit about the planning that the city's doing to build more subdivisions, and also there's something new called infill development. Not really new, but it's we're getting almost industrial strength on that now, aren't we?
Well, we had a housing study done back in 2019, and in 2019 the housing study showed that we were shy of about 1,800 housing units per year.
1,800 per year.
1,800 started in 2020 to 2021.
And put that in perspective, there's 50,000 water meters.
Yeah. So I mean, so at this point, when we start looking at how much actually, back in 2020, we permitted about 726 homes in 2020.
So you're under half of what you needed to build.
That's correct. And then you look at, okay, so also you got to include apartment units. In that time frame, right now, what we're expecting is about 626 apartment units over the next couple of years that'll be up and available for citizens. There's some that have already received the certificates of occupancy, some that are under construction, and some that are still being planned out. But that's the number that we're looking at. So we're still shy of what we need. You know, so there's still a lot.
What do you think needs to be done to accelerate that? I mean, I know there's a lot of things that the city doesn't control. For example, the cost of a 2x4.
Yeah, you know, well, you mentioned infill a while ago. I know that we're trying to promote.
And when you say infill, that means you go to an established neighborhood that has a vacant lot, or like if you're in Austin, East Austin, well, they call it gentrifying.
Let's not go there. But yeah, I mean, you have a vacant lot, and typically you'll have infrastructure, city infrastructure running around it, which is water utilities. Of course, you have the streets and what have you, and you have the ability to hook up to that.
Right.
Well, we have an infill project where we're trying to really promote neighborhood revitalization, and at the same time build the housing units that we need. So what this does is we dedicate about $200,000 per year to allow for 5,000 credit per housing unit.
So you're helping people, like they're building a house that maybe has water but doesn't have sewer pipes. You'll help them with a grant to build the sewer pipes.
That is correct, and they can use it for that purpose. You know, so there's different purposes they can use it, but as long as they're building, there's certain criteria they have to meet, but they can get like $5,000 per unit. up to $200,000. Once that money runs out that we budget per year, then it has to wait till next year.
Right.
So, I mean, you can build about 40 units.
And those houses that they're getting put back on city services, that's a revenue generator for the enterprise funds. So it's a good thing.
It really is. You know,
Yeah.
so you're absolutely right.
That means we can lower our taxes if we build more houses.
Well, as part of economic development, actually, you know, so you definitely want to make sure, and really we want to build not just houses, but of course, we won't talk too much about commercial right now, but we want to bring in more commercial businesses, you know, to help alleviate some of that taxing on the citizens. That's right.
Yeah.
So.
Well, Manny is over there going crazy again.
Okay.
So, which is okay, Manny. Are you saying wrap?
Yeah, we'll wrap it up here.
Are there any questions? Anything coming from the crowd? Nothing?
Let's
Some questions
see.
about beautifying the North Concho River.
The North Concho River.
Yeah, they're saying they want to pump some
that
water,
was it.
get it more clear, and let's clean it up. That's what the.
That's a subject for another time, you know, because.
Are you working on it?
No, not at this point. But I mean, we look at capital improvement projects. So we had a list of all of those, and of course, City Council will look at those projects to determine which ones will be prioritized. But anyway, that's something that would.
Someone has land on the North Concho River.
Joe, I do want to say, because we talk about infrastructure, we got a lot of calls.
About the streets?
No, about the sidewalks.
You mean the sidewalks on Knickerbocker?
Yes, sir. Knickerbocker and Bryan. You know,
I'm a runner, man. I'm going to tell you one thing. You need to get all those runners off the KOA deal. That gun run was a gun club trail and all that.
Sure,
You know, Frank Carter got mad at me. He got mad at me because I was running on those trails during COVID. And he unfriended me on Facebook over the KOA trails.
Oh my goodness! Well, I've always known Frank to be a good guy. So
Frank Carter, if you don't know, is our chief of police.
Yeah, he is. He is a great guy, though. So, but what I want to say about the sidewalks, though, is just to let people know that's not a city project. People are saying, why aren't you putting that money into streets and all that? It's a TxDOT project. I just want to make sure
TxDOT means the state of Texas is paying for them.
That is correct, and because we get so many calls, then I just want to make sure that we emphasize
sidewalk to nowhere.
Well, now it seems like there's a sidewalk going toward the lake now. So.
Well, maybe it'll go to the KOA, and we can get some of those people on the sidewalk instead of the KOA.
There you go, Joe.
I don't know.
You got it planned out.
Before you go, I mean, I know Manny's going to get mad at me for this, but another thing we hear every time we post a story about, let's say the city is improving something, like they're going to fix a street. Well, why aren't you fixing my street? Tell me about, there is a plan.
Yes, sir.
So give me a 3-minute explanation of the street plan.
How about a 1-minute explanation?
1 minute?
Yeah.
Manny says you got 1 minute.
We have an 8-year plan to revitalize, and that's really to seal code all the city streets. We're on year 7 at this point. Once we hit year 8, we'll go back around and redo that again. We also have a reconstruction project available that we're doing about $8 million of reconstruction per year. And again, it's just a cycle. We can't get to everything all at once, but we will get to your street at one point or another. We do have a map on the city's website you can go to and take a look at.
What is COSATX,
COSATX.us.
And COSATX.us.
Yeah. So you can go there and it'll show you a map of when your street's going to be done.
Right.
So go look it up. I mean, that's good information.
And Bell Street is taking so long because?
We.
Oh my God! Done, Joe.
It is almost. We're actually.
I had to ask about Bell Street.
We're actually ahead of schedule.
You're ahead of schedule.
Yeah, we are ahead of schedule.
You hear that, Facebook? They're ahead of schedule on Bell Street.
We are ahead of schedule, so we are going to get that done. So just be patient with it. It's going to be a wonderful street once it's completed.
And then College Hills is next, correct?
What's that? Yeah, College Hills is next. That is correct. Yes, sir.
Trammell lives on.
I need my street fixed.
we are going to get there. We're going to get there starting this toward the end of this year.
All right. Well, Daniel Valenzuela, the city manager for the city of San Angelo, talked a lot about water, talked a lot about infrastructure, and trying to be on top of things here with the city, which they are. But now we have to go to the Strike It Rich Bingo giveaway desk.
But first.
I-17. With payouts on average of $10,000 in prizes every day, the question is, why haven't you made it over to Strike It Rich Bingo? Play on paper for as low as $1 or electronically for as low as $20. So what are you waiting for? Strike It Rich Bingo, located at 1500 North Chadwick.
Trim.
All right, we are back at the Strike It Rich Bingo desk. We got a big one to give away right now. A Concho Pearl Sterling Silver Texas necklace presented by Cole's Diamond and Design. And the winner of that one was actually Audrey Sanchez. So congratulations to Audrey. She just won a Concho Pearl Sterling Silver Texas necklace, courtesy of Cole's Diamond and Design. Now let's get to some more giveaways. We got two numbers, and this is for two $25 gift cards to Napoli's. If you haven't been to Napoli's since it's opened, it opened up in the old Zettner's Daughter. You want to talk about some fine Italian dining? This is it in San Angelo. It really is one of the best Italian spots in town, if not the. So let's get to it. We got two $25 gift cards to hand out, and let's see what the numbers are. Number one is 19 and 7. So numbers are 19 and 7. The clock ends now, so let's see who wins. We'll get back to y'all with that. And remember, the winner of this is going to get two $25 gift cards to Napoli's. And you might want to stay tuned for the next one because it's going to be an Angry Cactus $100 bottle of wine. That's right, $100 for one bottle of wine. And you could win it right here on San Angelo Live's Boomtown San Angelo.
It's the sound of the final touches to a new home. A miter saw to some, but it's the application of trim and baseboards on the way. But like this rare find in wallpaper, are homes in San Angelo that stay on the housing market. 37 days was the average amount a home was on the market in 2020. As for new homes, well, it seems they can't build them fast enough, as Ryan Newland, broker and owner of Newland ERA & Company, explains.
Any new home that gets built in San Angelo generally will sell before it's completed.
A seller's market during a housing shortage is what we're experiencing in San Angelo. Kristen Oliver, executive officer of the San Angelo Home Builders Association, sheds light on what was said about this 2 years ago and the effects of a continued shortage.
As a housing study showed back in 2019, they foresaw a demand of nearly 3,700 homes that we would need in the next 2 years. And they were right. Apartment occupancy was at 98%. It's been at 98%. And so there's been a huge need to bring in, because we really can't bring in any new industries and businesses if we don't have any place to house these people.
Like everywhere else in America, new homes equals growth of an area. But at this point, it's the price of materials that are making it difficult.
We don't see as many starts. The lumber prices have fluctuated, so there's not as many new home starts.
It's hard for me to acquire materials. Lumber prices year over year, March to March, have gone up 180%.
A year ago, someone would ask, well, what's a house cost per foot? I'd say 150 to 60 a foot. Now I tell people it's 175 to 185 a foot.
According to reports, the cost of lumber is making its presence felt and could mean an additional $24,000 to build a new home. As for how this shortage started in the first place and what's being done to fix it,
it's such a complex issue because we have the shutdowns that they had, especially up north. This is where the sawmills are, and so the production has gone down. But they've also saw that they were able to increase the price, so they're making a lot more money, and not working. And so, but I know the National Association of Home Builders has really been talking to the White House, trying to get them to make some concessions, trying to get some relief for the market. And because if we don't do something now, if it continues to skyrocket, it's going to put the housing market at a standstill.
A lot of the products that we deal with are manufactured products. So if we can get those people back to work, get the supply chain filled back up, I think we'll get the ship right and we get back on to business as usual, hopefully.
Newly built homes in a neighborhood or community means progress. In this thriving housing market, the question now becomes, where will land be developed for new homes? In the city of San Angelo or neighboring communities?
We're reaching a point where there's no more available lots to build on. And so that's something that we're working with the city. We're working with the ETJ and maybe expanding that, and so we can expand that. But with that becomes costs of water, sewer, and those infrastructure costs are not cheap.
As a developer, I'll just tell you, it's easier to develop out in the country. because the roads don't cost as much. You don't have to do all the curbs and things that you have to do in the city.
New homes are selling extremely well. Every home is selling well right now. So we need new land to get developed. We need the builders to continue to build.
For more on land development and new homes, or perhaps to visit with the builder, the Parade of Homes event kicks off next Saturday. For San Angelo Live, I'm Manny Diaz.
All right, welcome back to the program here on Boomtown San Angelo, presented by Principal LED, one of the bigger manufacturers here in town. Joining us in this segment here, Mr. Reed Stoltz, Vice President, Senior Vice President of the Bank of San Angelo here in town. Thank you so much for taking time, staying
Thank
up a little
you for
bit
having me.
with us
Yeah,
tonight.
thanks for inviting me over.
Yeah, it's been man, we've had such a variety of different things that we've talked about, from higher education to to just our local economic outlook with the chamber to what's going on here in the city. So it's been good. Certainly, you as a member of the Bank of San Angelo, I imagine you have a lot to offer when it comes to local business and things like that. But let's segue. We're coming off a video that we're talking about housing development here in town, and that's a huge thing. We'll chat with Ryan Newland a little bit later of that. But yeah, right now appears to be just the best time to purchase a home. Tell me a little bit about these interest rates that are available.
Well, interest rates have been at an all-time low, and they've been that way for a while. The last few months they've ticked up a bit, but they're still good. So 30-year fixed rates and 15-year fixed rates make it easier for somebody to step up into a bigger house because they can get a lower rate and make the same payment. And so there's a lot of that going on. And so I think that has to do with some of it is the way rates are. Rates are low. We see a lot of growth in San Angelo in houses selling also because of some of the people that are moving to San Angelo because they like this area. And I think COVID actually has caused some of that. There's what we call urban to rural movement, and people are moving away from the more populated areas into these areas out here, and they feel more comfortable. And they like the small town atmosphere that San Angelo brings. They have all the amenities that a large town has, but they have more space and they feel safer, I think. Yeah. So we get a lot of Midland, Odessa people that are coming here. We get people from Dallas, Fort Worth, Austin, and San Antonio.
Now, we have a housing boom right now, and it's a seller's market for a lot of these folks here. I think that's probably a term we can use with that. Is it for home? Now, it's one thing to buy a home that's existed here in the city of San Angelo, and as we saw in this video here, it's tough now to build homes just because there's so many things involved with that, because of materials and things like that. What are y'all seeing on that end in terms of getting customers ready to make that next step if they want to build a home?
Well, I think one of the biggest things is the price increase in materials. And so what we see in lumber is lumber packages are 3 to 4 times higher than they were a year ago. And that's all a result of COVID and the lumber mills being shut down. It caused a kind of a bottleneck in supply and demand. And I think that's the main reason for that. I don't see it coming down very much. And so one of the problems that we're going to have in banking is houses right now may not appraise for what it's going to cost you to build. And so the difference is going to have to come out of the homeowner's pocket.
Wow.
Yeah. And so the cost is going to be higher, but appraisals are based off of comparable sales, and they're using comparable sales that have already happened. And so when you do that, it's not going to catch up. So it may be 6 months, it may be another year before they catch up to those prices.
Wow. So yeah, I think, chatting with the builder, he was sharing with me that, he may build the same home in the north side of San Angelo, and yet he may build that very same home, in Wall, but there's a huge difference with that.
Right. And so, where it comes into play is your appraisal.
The appraisal, yes.
Your appraisal, because it's based off of comparable sales in the area. And so, that's just the way it is. That's the way they do them. And so, once these prices and home sales at the higher price sell, then that appraiser can use that sale in his appraisal. And so it's just a matter of time. It'll catch up. But right now, we actually see some examples today to where the cost was more than what it appraised for.
Man, and I bet that's got to hurt for the contractor, the builder that that put that thing together.
Or the homeowner. The homeowner that's going to have to come out of pocket with that, or maybe they say, okay, let's wait for 6 months and maybe appraisals will come up.
Yeah, that's got to hurt.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk PPP loans. This is a thing that started last year to kind of just regenerate small business. Tell me how that's just evolved from, you know, that crazy year that we call 2020 now into 2021.
Well, the Paycheck Protection Program is administered through the SBA, and they work through banks for the PPP loans. And it's an actual loan that you get, and what it was designed for is to keep your employees employed and paid during the COVID period. And so it was a godsend for some small businesses like restaurants, hairdressers, things like that, and they could keep their employees paid, and it helped them out and get them through the deal. We had the first round of PPP last spring, and then, of course, right now we're working on the second round of PPP loans. And they've made some changes that are more advantageous for small businesses to take advantage of, and even the self-employed to take advantage of, to pay themselves during those times when they were down. So it was a blessing for small businesses. There's still money out there. The paycheck, it was over with in March. They extended it to May 31st.
Wow, so people can still take advantage of that.
Absolutely. And so people that got the first round can apply for the second round. They made it a little bit harder, the second round, to get it. You have to prove a 25% reduction in gross revenue. But anyway, there's still money available. Exactly how much, I don't know, but they put, it was $300 billion into that program. Wow. And so it's helped out a ton of people.
Now, for folks that are, I guess, just started businesses this year, you know, maybe a local mom and pop type of operation, would they still kind of qualify for something like that, or how does that work for them like that?
Not for the PPP. They'd have to be established or in business prior to February, I think, of 2020. So they would have to already be in business. And so, but if they're a new business that's getting started, there's also a ton of other SBA loan programs that are out there to help a small business. 7A loans, 504 loans, express loans, and those SBA loans work through your bank. So you'd have to go to your bank to get those SBA loans.
Wow, so that's clutch. So now, of course, the SBA things, those are local. It's involving local banks. I know we see a lot of with these corporate banks that are in our cities, and that's great. But how important are the local guys like you to help stabilize the economy and keep it going?
Well, we're a locally owned bank, and so we like to keep our money local. We like to lend local for several reasons. Is because I live in the community, and we also use the services of these customers that we're loaning money to. And so it's a small community bank, and it creates commerce all the way around. And I think it's most important now to try to get the economy back on its feet, to really focus and buy local, and try to concentrate to get our local economy back going again.
Wow. Well, man, it's Joe. You have one question?
Yeah, we got some questions coming in off of Facebook and YouTube. Kristen Garcia, we need to give that guy a Michael Looney hat.
Yeah, he deserves one.
Can we ask the Strike It Rich bingo desk?
Yeah. The person who asked the most
Garcia,
questions tonight.
Whoever asked the most questions gets a Michael Looney hat.
Yeah.
And a Michael Looney hat is the official San Angelo hat.
They're pretty sweet. Yeah,
it's not bad there.
Yeah.
So we'll hook you up, Christian.
Anyway, there's downtown revitalization is a sexy topic. And, all the years, that I've been involved in the San Angelo thing, I've learned about the 24-hour downtown, and the way to get there are two things we need. We need places to stay downtown, places to live in, like apartments, lofts, and we need a grocery store. All right? So we kind of had two grocery stores with the Supermercado and the Lowe's, but I think we're down to one Lowe's. Food King.
Yeah.
So what about, do you know of any projects that are happening downtown that would foster the downtown living kind of idea?
No, I don't. I mean, we're not working on any or anything like right now that I know about. No.
And the next question we had in here was, how about I-27? I know I'm asking the banker all these things. Are people like coming to you and asking for loans to buy lots on next to where I-27 might be?
No, there's no speculation going on there that I know about.
Not yet.
Not yet, anyway. Yeah.
And so I-27 is speculated to be going along the east Loop 306 up through 67 in front of Howard College.
Yep.
So if you want to buy some land and you're sitting there in Dallas wondering why you're wearing a mask still, you want to move out here?
Yeah, Joe is, in fact, Joe is encouraging folks for that from the greater Houston area or wherever it may be. Hey, come on to San Angelo. Yeah. In
Hey,
fact,
by the way, this thing just went viral. Crowd Tangle just sent me the email.
Okay.
Said that it is at the top of the list right now.
Right on.
So y'all keep commenting and sharing and liking and trying to win Michael Looney hats.
Yeah. All right, Reed Stoltz here of the Bank of San Angelo. Anything else to add in terms of commercial lending or perhaps maybe things that folks may want to take advantage of with interest rates or anything like that?
Well, now's a good time, and I would stress the importance of a community bank, a local bank, shop local, bank local. I think that speaks volumes right now, especially when you have an economy that's trying to rebuild and get back going again, and it just means more. There's a lot of advantages to doing it that way.
Yeah.
So.
Well, all right. Well, Reed Stoltz, Senior Vice President of the Bank of San Angelo, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Boomtown San Angelo, presented by Principal LED. I believe we may have some more giveaways. Matt Trammell at the Strike It Rich Bingo giveaway desk.
Definitely.
But we have to go first.
But
We will
first.
hit
I-17.
With payouts on average of $10,000 in prizes every day, the question is, why haven't you made it over to Strike It Rich Bingo? Play on paper for as low as $1 or electronically for as low as $20. So what are you waiting for? Strike It Rich Bingo, located at 1500 North Chadwick.
Craft beer in the refrigerator. I got some St. Arnold's and some Dallas Blonde.
and some Coors Light.
And some Coors, and the ultimate craft beer, Coors Light.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, guys.
Are you going to talk to?
Well, I think we have to get back to Matt Trammell before
Here we
we
are.
do
we
anything
do.
else.
The Strike It Rich
Trammell.
Bingo live desk. Here we
Hey,
go.
wait.
Strike
Whoever.
It Rich Bingo giveaway desk is ready to give away another prize. We just got two $25 gift cards to Napoli's, and we got two winners.
Wait, Napoli's is an Italian
Yeah,
restaurant.
one of the
And
best Italian restaurants.
It's over there on
here.
Knickerbocker
Fine
Road,
dining.
1702
Old
Knickerbocker
Zedner's
Road.
right
Yeah,
there.
the old Zedner's daughter in Stadium Park.
That's right.
Yeah.
So, and the first of all, the next one, before I announce those, I'm going to let y'all another great place, and that's the Avery Cactus. And this giveaway is going to be a $100 bottle of wine.
Another $100 bottle of wine?
A single bottle of wine that costs $100.
It's from
That
Chile.
is 10 times more than I usually pay.
Is it one of those Chile wines? Is it from Chile?
I'm not sure.
Well,
I'm
read
not sure
the
you're gonna-
label.
It says
Chilean.
$100 bottle of wine.
You mean it doesn't tell you what
No,
country it's from?
But you know what? I'm sure Tim Conn will happy to let you know. So go ahead and hit your numbers in there, 0 to 60. Get them in there, get them in there, get them in there. We'll wait 1 second.
1 second.
And that's it. It's over. And I've announced the other two winners for the last one. The two $25 gift cards to Napoli's goes to Edward Naro and Keisha Williams. The two winners
What's
won
that?
a
Three property
$25 gift card
analysis?
to Napoli.
What's in the giveaway?
So come back. I'll go ahead and roll one of these, and we will see which numbers will win the $100 gift card to the Angry Cactus. Only one winner for this one. Better guess it right. The number is 7. So I'll let y'all know who won that right after this.
All right.
So y'all ready in the front?
All right, 1 second. Hey, speaking of Ryan Newland, we have a thing that's coming up. It's involving him.
Hey.
Uh-oh.
Check it out.
Anybody who wants to go that is looking for a home, or maybe you just want to look to dream. So maybe you're thinking about building a home in the future. This is a great way to see hands-on what these builders can do, what their subs are like. This is a great chance to see the new trends and what's out and what's the latest and greatest.
Well, welcome back to Boomtown San Angelo, sponsored by Principal LED. To my right is Ryan Newland. He is the owner and broker at ERA Newland and Company, which is one of the real estate agencies in town. Well, actually, you're probably one of the largest ones, aren't you?
I think we are the largest.
You're the largest?
Yes.
So you have like 5,000 real estate agents?
No. There's 400 agents in town. We got like 65, I believe.
65 agents.
Yes.
Lots of listings, lots of activity. And we brought you on because we knew that a lot of the discussion about economic development would revolve around the housing. I'm going to go ahead and say it's a housing crisis. And it's when you say it's a crisis?
I don't like, if it's a crisis here, it's a crisis across the country because everyone's experiencing the same thing.
And is it because of low interest rates and
I think low interest rates. I think, COVID didn't help. Everything's everything's slowed down so much everywhere.
So like 2x4s went from $2 a board to $4 a board, and
yeah, but 2x4s they didn't really do that until the start of 21. They started going up in the summer and then they dropped again. So I think it's a lot of factors. I think it's a lot of people, like if they had plans to move out of town, they've put that on hold. If they had plans to go to assisted living, they've put that on hold. The military kind of slowed down the moving for a while. Like what were they called our base a color. I can't remember which one, but I think we were red.
A red base?
Yeah, they weren't letting people in or out for a while, early COVID.
Oh, because of...
It's the sound of the final...
And then interest rates went to 2.
Hey, did we go back to, you're playing B-roll.
Yeah.
I looked at the monitor, I'm going, we're not on TV anymore.
Yeah,
are we just talking?
B-roll.
Yeah.
We're talking?
We're
Okay.
talking, but we're just talking.
So,
anyway.
So what I think is, and so now that people are, they can move and, the interest rates are still low, they're going up a little bit. But now someone who wants to buy a bigger house, or maybe they want to buy a smaller house and they want to stay in San Angelo or they want to go to Austin, they start looking, there's nothing to buy.
Right.
So they're like, well, I guess we'll just stay where we're at. I know the remodel guys are slammed. The electricians, the plumbers, people are doing work on their own properties.
So they're fixing up their own propies rather than moving up or moving down.
Well, it just depends if they can't find anything.
Right.
You're not going to put your house on the market to sell and get these, highest prices ever in San Angelo.
But you have nowhere to move.
And nowhere to go. So, there's people living, like I've dealt with a lot of clients lately, not me personally, but in our office, that are living in campers right now. They sold their house.
Made a lot of money.
And they're made a lot of money. And they're waiting for the right place.
Right.
And that place is hard to find, and so they're in a camper.
So they're waiting for the crash.
Yeah, I don't know.
You're going to live in a camper until the crash.
I don't know if we're going to have a crash anytime soon.
So this is the van down by the river crisis.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Spring Creek Marina.
Spring Creek Marina.
Yeah.
All right, so subdivisions. I mean, if we have a shortage, like Daniel Valenzuela was saying, we have a study that says we need 1,800 new living units per year. And we're creating 750 of them. So we're building 750 new homes.
Oh, I don't think we're doing that.
That's what he said we were doing. Well, he's counting apartments. And,
oh yeah, maybe so. Maybe units. But the home building, the hard part is land. A lot of the areas that are already developed that can be built on are privately held. So that builder kind of controls his speed he wants to build. He might sell lots to another builder. He might not. And like a lot of these builders are, their costs are $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 more a house.
And so
for the lumber.
Right.
He still has all the same costs involved in selling it, and he's got
downward pressure from people who don't want to spend as much. They go, why do I need to spend $300,000 for a house that costs $200,000?
If the bank would automatically say, yeah, your house is automatic, like you spent $30,000 more on the boards. So it's worth $30,000 more.
But the bank's not doing that.
But the banks don't do that. It's just not done that way with the appraisals.
Just like Reed was saying,
it's got to catch up.
The comparables haven't caught up. So
Correct.
It's hard to get, unless you have cash.
Yeah.
It's hard to catch up.
Correct. You got to have several of them, and it's got to be in different areas and different style houses. So they will catch up eventually, or the lumber will come back down. But there's not as many permits being taken out now as there was in December.
Is that right?
For new house starts.
And it's because of the cost.
February was low. It was 15, I believe.
It's the gap between the cost and the amount that can be financed. That's what's causing it.
Well, there's that, and then there's lack of land to build on. You know, there needs to be there are new developments coming in, but it's a slow process running through the city.
So your suggestion is, if you're moving to San Angelo, bring a RV.
No, you can find a house. I think 20 houses went under contract today in San Angelo. So
they're moving.
They're moving. When houses come on the market, if they're priced remotely right, and they're in good shape, and they're going to sell.
When you say remotely right, you mean like within guidelines of the bank can say, yes, I can finance it.
Yeah, well, I don't know, if they're in line with what they should be. Right. So everything's a little higher than it was, and everything's getting pushed a little higher and higher, and that's what happens. It's always done that. It's just doing it quicker now.
Right.
You can still find a house to buy.
One of the things you've done recently, I think in the last 6 months, is you got into infield. You've invested in some infield development. So infield development, in case you don't know, is when we talked about it with the Valenzuela, where you take an older neighborhood, usually Lakeview or somewhere like that, and you have empty lots, and you
it could be any area in town. There's a bunch of areas the city's laid out that say these are target areas that we know there's vacant lots littered throughout these city blocks. Some of them don't have sewer, some of them don't have water, some of them don't even have roads.
Yeah. So he mentioned a small project or a small program they have to help people do that.
Correct. Yeah.
Is that helping?
I think so. Like, ever since they've rolled it out, they've used the money that's given towards it every year. So yeah, there might be a city block that doesn't have utilities. It's a great place to have houses, affordable housing, but no builder can afford to go in and bring the sewer, bring the water, fix the curbs up, whatever they require,
and still build a house.
And so this is and still build the house. So it's supplemented.
Right.
And I think there's another program too. There's a Catalyst program that's helping the same way.
Right. So how's it working for you? Are you ready to?
I don't know. I'm still in the city process. The city, my gosh.
All right.
So we're waiting on city stuff, and then we're going to try to build some houses.
They complain about the city. You always hear complaints. Complaints about the city is the water, the roads, and then the permitting office.
I think the city's fine. Like, the engineer that's helping us, she basically said, the city wants it a certain way. Right. As long as you give it to them that way, it's going to go through this process. It's just not.
Does the city's process, does it cost a little bit more money, or is it?
No, reasonable? I just think they want to and I agree, you don't want random, everything different. You don't want one block looking one way, and it might have street all the way up to the curb, and the next block doesn't have, you've got to have some uniform. I agree on that.
For the long-term
and then the city's changed a lot. There's employees that have changed over up there. So everyone learns that process. So there's certain steps you have to take to do it, and so we're just going through those steps.
So you have no complaints?
Not yet.
Not yet?
No, I don't think so. I think it's going to be fine. I know that because we deal with a lot of builders that have been going through this process, and they do the process. That's the part we just don't see, is you don't see the 2 months leading up to the house being built.
You dabble in commercial real estate.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you do. You buy these things all the time. You come and say, hey, I just bought this building.
No, I don't. I don't buy buildings. I bought offices for my real estate agents.
Because you have 5,000 of them.
No, yeah.
Or 65. But let's talk downtown. You know anything about downtown? Because we had the question.
I know there's tiers money down there for fixing up the front of your building.
Yeah, so that's 20 grand. You get 20 grand.
Up to 75, I think.
Yeah, if you can ask for it right. But everyone's
it's a process.
The default is 20 grand to fix up your front end. But what about downtown living? Do you think that's ever going to happen?
Well, I know that Roosevelt Hotel, they're starting back up on it.
Are they?
There's work. Oh yeah, there's work being done.
Your sign's on it.
Yes, that's from 5 years ago. So I've already talked to the new guy in my office that's going to handle that. And I told him, why don't y'all get a ladder or call one of the sign companies and get your number put on there. So my number, it's not even actually my number. I was smart when I put that sign up.
You put a Google number on it?
I bought a number.
You bought a number?
And so it wouldn't go to it goes to a voicemail. Yeah.
But you think they're going to, that's what
I think it's going to work. It's just going to be a little different. It's not going to be, I think the way that the historical society works, they're going to have to lease those properties for a minimum of 5 years before they can sell them.
Okay,
so it's going to be like a high-end
apartments,
condominiums that you rent downtown.
And so if you don't know what we're talking about the old Roosevelt Hotel. It's on North Chadbourn at, what street is that at?
I don't know, right past Raw.
I always say it's down the street from Blaine's, north of Blaine's.
Yeah.
I think it's college.
Because who drinks wine?
I think it's college.
No, right.
College Avenue.
Raw has 4 beer taps. It's cold beer. It's good.
Do they really?
Yeah.
Okay, I need to go try
I've never
it.
drank
Raw,
wine in there. I drink the beer.
$18.99. You never drink any beer in Raw?
No, I have.
Oh,
that's
okay.
all I get at Raw is beer. So.
And that's right across the street from the Roosevelt. So that's a great place for, we go in together and we can like get a Airbnb.
Well, my buddy, he does the Airbnb on Chadbourn just on the other side of Raw, and it's doing he's booked
all the time.
All the time.
So there's an idea. That's downtown living, Airbnb operations.
Yep,
going on
I know
down
several people that have those Airbnbs in and around. I know Firehouse, the pizza place, they're doing good.
In fact, have we given away the Firehouse?
No,
thing?
that's coming up.
So we have, what do we have from the Firehouse?
We're going to give away 3 $25 gift cards.
Sweet.
25. Have you ever had their pizza?
Yeah.
But anyway, that's part of downtown living.
Good beer too.
So, anyway, do we have any questions from the greater audience?
I'd like to know. So, in the video that we watched earlier, it's you and the HBA are saying that it's lots, land developments are tough to come by here in the city of San Angelo, just because we're in need for expansion when it comes to that. So, are there any areas around San Angelo that are just truly booming right now that you would say?
Well, Buffalo Heights has been booming for a long time out on 2288. That there's at least 2 or 3 new wall subdivisions, like smaller little subdivisions in the wall area. There's David Curry. He was on the video earlier. He just sold his lots in Cristobal fast. So there's areas, but that's hard too. You got your own problems. You got to get water out to those areas.
Yeah, Curry said in the video that it's easier to develop out in the county than it is the city, obviously.
It is, but they still have their problems because you got to figure out how to get water to those areas if there's not so. I would say Cristobal just seems like I know I was talking to someone the other day, and you can't find many houses in Cristobal right now. So I think it's Coach Otho. He's doing that. He's bringing them in.
It's because the winning football team, Cristobal.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. My folks live out in Cristobal.
Now we got Danny fired up about Cristobal.
Yeah,
Cougars.
so
I know he's a Coug.
Yeah, in fact, somebody my parents they still live in Cristobal. Their house is not for sale. I don't think it will ever be for sale.
People knock on the door.
Yeah, people knock on the door and ask, "Hey, what would?" In fact, I think it was a real estate agent from.
What would it take to sell your house?
Yeah. It probably was. Yeah.
Ambitious they were.
No, but that's what we're doing, because if you have a client that needs to find a house in this town and there's nothing available, the only thing you can do is go find it. You got to work for your money somehow. So we've been doing a lot of different things on, people in this town. The average person I think lives in their house 3 to 5 years. Mm-hmm. So you go back, we can find out what all houses sold in
5 years
2016,
ago. Right?
And send a letter to all the houses that sold in 2016, because 3/4 of them are probably getting ready to move for some reason.
All right, so I have 2 questions to conclude this. If I want to buy a house, I'm moving to San Angelo. I got me a great job at Principal LED, where they don't fire anyone. Sorry, that's what Brian said.
Yeah.
And I have already camped out in my car in front of.
As long as you sleep in your car.
Sleep in your car for 3 days.
You don't get fired. Yeah.
But anyway, I've gotten my job at Principal LED. It's a good paying job, and I can afford. The bank has pre-approved me for $300,000. I want to get a nice house. What do I do?
Well, do you already own a house?
I do. I need to sell it.
Okay.
It's in Austin. I'm moving away from...
Oh, well, just sell it. Yeah, you can just sell it in Austin.
I'm moving away from woke Austin.
So, no, you just sell your house there. Okay. But if you want to buy a house in San Angelo, you need to talk to a bank, get pre-approved. Mm-hmm. Call us, call another real estate company. You need to get in with a realtor so they can start looking at what's going to be coming up, because you can get on those real estate sites and the houses that are there have been there for months, because a lot of that inventory is just sitting around. Mm-hmm. So you need to find
overpriced, or there's something wrong with it.
Yeah, who knows what it is. Yeah. It could be a lot of different factors, but it's not like a lot of those 100 houses we have for sale in San Angelo have been on the market. Mm-hmm. The ones you need to find is On Tuesday, I looked on Tuesday, and in the week prior, there was 54 houses came up for sale. That same week, 55 houses went under contract. Not the same, but
the inventory is
that's
shifting
what's
like
it's
that.
coming on and dropping off, coming on and dropping off.
So you need to find a good real estate
figure out
agent
figure out where you want to go. Yes.
Yeah. And real estate agents almost required now because you got to have someone in the trenches that knows what's coming on the market.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
It's not like a FISBO world where
I figured there would be more FISBOs, but there's not that many around.
There really isn't.
I don't see many.
I mean, I think the agents.
What? Wait, can
for sale by owners.
Yeah,
okay,
FISBO.
For
FSBO.
young bucks, can we get some?
Yeah,
FISBOs. Thanks, Matt. Appreciate
hey, speaking
that.
of young bucks, what right now? Since you know the housing situation in San Angelo, for someone who's a middle-aged 20-year-old, is it better to rent or to buy a house right now?
I would say, do you plan on being in San Angelo, putting down your roots, or are you one of those millennial, I might just want to move tomorrow?
Give me both scenarios.
If I thought I might like go to college in another town, or I really have been applying for this job and I haven't got it, I'll probably never get it. I don't know. You don't need to buy a house and then try to sell it 6 months later. You'll lose money. There's cases now where people have owned them a year and they're breaking even, which is rare. So you need to make sure that you're going to be in an area for a certain amount of time.
I say 2 to times 5 years.
Like I say 2 to 3.
Okay.
You're going to be making payments to it. Hopefully you're going to be taking care of it, if not making it better. And then the market's going to continue to go up. So when you sell it, the goal of buying a house is to make money when you sell it. So you might want to turn into a landlord, but
What is how difficult would it be for a 20-something-year-old to get a house in San Angelo right now?
Not bad. We're selling a house right now. I know to some girl, she's 18. So you can, if you've got a job that you've been at for a little while and you have taken care of your credit and you don't have a ton of debt, you don't need to, you got to be able to make the payment. So it's not a hard deal to buy a house, but you have to have a few things in place.
Clears it up for some of those young folk.
Yeah. You rent right now, Trammell?
What's that? Yeah.
Nice.
He's a renter.
Hey, I wasn't trying to pitch you to sell me a house.
I don't want to sell you a house.
I don't want to sell you a house.
I got somebody that will, though. I don't know.
That's why we brought Ryan Newland on for the last segment of Boomtown San Angelo.
Yeah, we're selling houses on San Angelo.
What about the rental market?
There's more houses available for rent right now than there was last summer. So
it's good.
It's like, as far as, prices are still high, I think, but it's the market. But there's more availability. Like there was at a point, I guess maybe it wasn't even last summer.
18.
It was in the summer before COVID, not the summer of 19, when there was like 10 houses available to rent in town.
Right.
So there's more than that now. There's probably 100.
And they built some. That's because they built some apartments.
We've got more apartments.
Like that. So things are looking good on that area.
Michael Looney I know the entire story of Creek 27 right now.
Creek 27, yes.
We've heard it out there.
What about the hat? Did you get a hat?
No, I didn't get a hat.
Trammell,
get you a hat.
When are you going to give away the hats?
I have so many more giveaways, and this is the last guest, so I don't even, we're going to have to figure out how to speed these giveaways.
All right, well, I'll tell you what. Let's break away to the giveaway desk, and let's give away some hats.
I got you. No, I got an idea for the hats.
What about my giveaway? We're going to do my giveaway?
Don't worry about that.
Wait, we're going to add to your...
We got the Angelo Axe House, we got the Central Firehouse Pizza, and we still got Scott Allison Real Estate.
If people will tell us what they want...
He's looking at me scary now.
Well, Ryan Newland has a very special giveaway he wants to add to your workload.
You got a giveaway you want to add?
Yeah, you tell them.
Before we get to the giveaway,
let's
pay some
That's
bills.
like Wednesday.
I-17. With payouts on average of $10,000 in prizes every day, the question is, why haven't you made it over to Strike It Rich Bingo? Play on paper for as low as $1 or electronically for as low as $20. So what are you waiting for? Strike It Rich Bingo, located at 1500 North Chadwick.
All right, we're back here at the Strike It Rich Bingo giveaway desk, where we have already given over $1,000 worth of prizes, and we're still going. And right now, we got the Angry Cactus $100 wine giveaway
From Chile.
Now, remember, you have to be 21 to win this prize. So if you're not and you come up here, you're gonna have to show a little bit of ID, or else all this is.
It's not like you're voting. You have to show an ID.
Yeah. So, anyways, the winner of that
enough
one.
of our conservative
The winner of that
talk
one was
tonight.
Ashton Droll. So congratulations, Ashton. You just won yourself a $100 gift, $100 bottle of wine from Angry Cactus.
I've been seeing Ashton Droll all over that
I
news,
know,
all over
going
that feed.
crazy. But hey, finally got it right. So here we go.
Is
So
she
the
18?
Next one,
Or is she 21? Or is he?
I guess we'll find out. All right, so here we go. The next one is an Angelo Axe House date. Ooh, get you a little.
Angelo Axe House.
You and
Explain
your
what
girl
that
go
is.
to the Angelo Axe House, throw a little axes.
So this
don't
is
get their way.
this is throwing axes at targets
you're
on
throwing
the wall.
axes at the target. So go
An
ahead,
axe.
drop your numbers 0 through 60. Go ahead and start dropping them. The wheel's rolling. We only got one ball to pick right here. Here it is. Dun 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 dun. Numbered. Well, Manny, what do you think that is?
It's a 6
do you
or
think
a
that's
9.
a 6 or a 9?
Let's go with the 6.
Manny calls it a 6. It is a 6. So 6 is the number. And we'll find out who wins that one in a second. We might as well just run another giveaway real quick.
What about the Looney hat?
Well, hey, wait. I got an idea for the Looney hats. You just
Okay.
got to give me a second. So the next one's going to be the Central Firehouse Pizza is going to give away 3 $25 gift cards. So go ahead and drop your numbers in this one, and this will be for the second giveaway.
And the Central Firehouse Pizza, bed and breakfast and pizza, it is the old Central Firehouse. It's been remodeled, and it's on, help me out, it's on Main Street?
Magdalen.
I think. Yeah.
Yeah, it's right there off Concho.
But they got the
Right?
best pizza.
Oh, yeah, and the best beer, too. They got that huge tap room. 1, 2, and 3. So these 3 are going to be for the second giveaway. 4, 12, and 23. That's the second time for 23.
4,
so
12, and
4, 12,
23.
and 23. And then the winner of the $100 bottle is number 6. So I'll get those names, and I'll get whoever won, and we'll let y'all know here in a second.
What about the Looney hats?
Hey, we're getting to that.
Hey, we have another giveaway that's going to be
Perfect.
added to our list.
Perfect. Just keep on adding them.
Keep on adding. So what are we going to do next, Manny? We're going to go back to talk real estate?
Well, I mean, we're past the 10 o'clock hour. We're getting close to wrapping this thing up.
We're supposed to be wrapping this up, but Trammell he's been hoarding
We
all
got
the
too
prizes.
many giveaways. I know. What's going on?
We have too many giveaways, so we're just going to have giveaway frenzy for the next 10 minutes.
Okay, well, why not?
And why not? Let's give away more stuff. Hey, Ryan, you want to add to our giveaway frenzy?
Yeah.
What do you want to add?
The rodeo tickets.
Okay.
Rodeo tickets.
Rodeo tickets.
There's not many rodeo tickets, are there?
What?
You know, I talked to the guys at the rodeo. They said that they're sold out most days except for the matinees and the Wednesday night deal. They have a total. They have over the 13 performances, maybe it's 12 performances. They only have about 1,000 seats left.
Yeah.
And they don't have any box seats or anything that's premium.
Well, this is a matinee.
A matinee?
But it's the Extreme Bull matinee.
That's on Sunday.
Sunday afternoon.
That's actually a good.
Yeah,
good
the Extreme
Yeah.
Bulls on Sunday. You know what they were doing is the rodeo was competing over these years with Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And they
Del
said,
Rio.
no, not Super Bowl,
Oh.
Super Bowl.
Oh, bowl.
They
oh,
wanted-
yeah.
It's usually in February.
Yeah.
Remember.
So they started this Extreme Bull last year, and they bringing the 12 top bull riders in the world. So the purse is enhanced and everything. So it's really a super show. But Extreme Bulls is on the Sunday. I don't know what it's April.
No.
What?
The 18th. Oh, it's the 18th.
18th, Sunday the 18th
3 p.m.
of April?
Mm-hmm.
At 3 p.m.
Mhm.
And you're going to give away one ticket?
8.
8 tickets together?
8 box seats.
8 box seats?
8 box seats. Y'all hear that? 8 box seats
That's
about to
right.
enter the
8.
Strike
They're
It
good
Rich
seats.
Bingo giveaway day.
And I understand that the seats that you have, at least whenever I see you in the arena, you're down there by where Jeremy Bartz is getting running up on that ladder trying to get away from the bull.
It's right there. I always think of it as it's either the first barrel or the second barrel that
on the
barrel
race
races hit.
All right.
So right there.
All right, so 8 box seats to Extreme Bulls. That's on Sunday the 18th.
It's on the beer barn side of the arena,
Beer barn
which is
side,
good.
yeah. It's not on the visitor side.
Correct.
The visitor side is bad.
So essentially, right now we're about to have a rapid fire giveaway.
All right, let's do it.
Essentially.
All right, hold up. Give me a second. I'm
All right, Trimble,
I got it.
how about I give you 15 seconds?
All right, that's fine. Give me 15 seconds.
What are we going to talk about?
With payouts on average of $10,000 in prizes every day, the question is, why haven't you made it over to Strike It Rich Bingo? Play on paper for as low as $1 or electronically for as low as $20. So what are you waiting for? Strike It Rich Bingo, located at 1500 North Chadwick.
All right, back at the giveaway desk, and man, we're getting them popping out now. So, for the Angelo Axe House, the winner is Danny Montez. Good job, Danny. You guessed that one right. And the next one is the Old Central Firehouse Pizza and Tap House. We got 3 winners for that one. Sam Mata, Joanne Gaddy, and Brian Vincent. So, for this next one...
Wait a minute, and that was $25 gift cards.
Those were $25 gift cards each. That's right. So make sure you message us and we'll tell you how to get those gift cards. For the next one, we have 3 property analysis from Debbie Wilson with Scott Allison Real Estate. And we're going to have pick 3 people for that one. So go ahead, hit your numbers in there, and we'll pick 3.
It's like a little Vegas lottery, Vegas bingo.
Strike It Rich Bingo.
Yeah. Courtesy, thank you, Joe.
Here we
Strike
go.
It Rich Bingo.
Courtesy of Strike It Rich Bingo for the Scott Allison property analysis giveaway. That's number 9, 15, and 34. Now, you're not going to want to miss this next giveaway because it's going to be 8 box seats, correct? Am I right?
8 box seats.
Is
8 box
this
seats.
like the finale?
Yes, this is going to be the finale.
Well, what about the Looney hats?
That's the real finale, which you just let me do it. All right, here we go. Go back to you guys real quick. Let me tally the results, and I'll find the winner
Okay,
of
hold
this
on.
before the big
Hold
finale.
on. We'll pay some bills one more time.
I-17.
With payouts on average of $10,000 in prizes every day, the question is, why haven't you made it over to Strike It Rich Bingo? Play on paper for as low as $1 or electronically for as low as $20. So what are you waiting for? Strike It Rich Bingo, located at 1500 North Chadwick.
Well, we're back. This is the Principal LED, Boomtown San Angelo. I'm with Ryan Newland of ERA Newland & Company, which is a big old real estate company here in town. And we're trying to give away lots of prizes. And what happened was, as we went along, people started calling in and giving us more prizes. And so far, I haven't heard the plan that we have over the Strike It Rich Bingo table with Matt Trimble. How are we going to give away all of these Looney hats? And the reason, Ryan, the reason why we call these...
That's going to be the big finale.
Why we call these the Looney hats is because Michael Looney walks in here with a case of hats and said, give them away. And they all say San Angelo, Texas on them, which is the official San Angelo logo.
Yeah.
Really cool.
Yeah.
I mean, even Manny Diaz wants one. So you
Yeah,
can wear...
no, in fact, Michael Looney gave me one last Friday in my hour-long visit.
You
with
mean
him.
you got one in the other case of hats?
The exclusive one.
Yeah.
Did you wear it backwards?
I haven't wore it yet.
Yeah,
I'm gonna wear it.
Is it a black one?
Yeah, it's a black one, exactly like that.
So anyway, we have lots of hats, but also we're about to give away...
Are we ready for the rodeo giveaway? The big rodeo giveaway?
8 box seats to the San Angelo
8 box
Rodeo.
seats.
To the Extreme Bowl.
To the Extreme Bull Riding, 8 box seats. There's no box seats you can buy. You can't buy box seats when they go on sale.
You can't buy them?
You can't buy box seats. You can't buy box seats right now for next year.
And when you tell people you have box seats to the rodeo, do you know how important you're going to be?
I know. You get all gussied up and with your big old hat on.
King of the county?
Yeah.
So let's get to doing it. We have 8 of them, but I'm just going to give away one person this. So
one person's going to get
one
8
person's
box
going to
seats.
get
That's going to
8
be the most
box
popular
seats.
person in San Angelo.
So they can have right there.
So y'all better get ready. We'll give y'all a commercial break, and when we come back, y'all will see the number.
I like where you're going with that, Trimble. Getting real good at that.
I-17.
With payouts on average of $10,000 in prizes every day, the question is, why haven't you made it over to Strike It Rich Bingo? Play on paper for as low as $1 or electronically for as low as $20. So what are you waiting for? Strike It Rich Bingo, located at 1500 North Chadwick.
And now it's time 8 box seats to Extreme Bulls.
At the San Angelo
At
Rodeo.
the San Angelo Rodeo. Come say hi to me. I'll be sitting underneath
The
you.
amount
You
of
won't be
power
able to
that
see
Trammell
me.
has in his hands
Right
now.
here.
Wait. This is courtesy of ERA Newland.
Yeah,
and Company.
don't forget it. Ryan Newland, the man. ERA Newland. You need a house? Call him. Here we go. His name is posted on the big Roosevelt hotel in downtown San Angelo.
Also his phone number as well.
Also his phone number as well. Yeah.
But it goes to Google Voice.
Here we go. The number is number 42.
42.
So 42.
Who won? Number
Let's
40.
check it. Let's check the number.
So people have been putting in the numbers
Oh,
all
yeah.
night.
On the comments.
It's been all night long, yeah.
So
Here it is.
if you chose 42 like at 7 o'clock.
Oh, no. It's like right now. You got
Okay, you have to re-put it in.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun,
Trammell,
dun,
have you seen anything?
I'm not seeing a 42.
Are we gonna
But
have
the
to like
closest one,
So we're gonna have to redraw.
we should redraw.
I
All right,
said
here
we
it is.
redraw.
I'm in. Let's do it.
All right, so no one won the rodeo tickets. The 8
Starts
box seats.
as soon as I push starts now. That's how we'll know. Here it is. Ready? 2. You have 5 seconds.
2.
4, 3, 2. Let's see what they said. Do we have a winner? Dun 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 dun. Edward Naro with 1. That's pretty close.
Yeah, I think
Should we-
300. I mean, Betty Sanchez. Well, no, there's Edward.
Betty's on 300.
I mean, Betty Sanchez ought to get a
300.
Looney hat for that.
Betty Sanchez, give us a call. We'll give you a Looney hat.
I'll go ahead and give it to Edward Naro. He got it for the 2.
He
you
came back and said 2 later.
You can go ahead and message us, and we'll get you lined up with
He's
your
got
box seats.
Edward Naro is the winner of
Edward
the 8.
Naro, the big box seat winner. And now to Joe's, what he's really been waiting on.
I've been
these
waiting
Michael
on
Looney hats.
The Michael Looney hats.
To end this live stream, if you would like a Michael Looney hat, the first, how many we got? 10? First 10 people to
No.
say free
No,
hat?
wait.
Make sure we got it right.
How
1, 2,
many do you have over there?
I got 4. How many
I
you
got
got?
1, 2,
There's
3.
5 over here.
We
Hey,
got
so
9 hats.
first 9 people to comment free hat, you'll receive a free hat. No ifs,
Free
ands,
hat.
or buts.
Got to say free hat. And get
Got
a
to write free hat.
Hold it up and let people see what the free hat looks like. It's made in America too.
Yes. There you go. So this
All
is
right, we got 2 free hats. Edward Naro wants one, and Robert
Perfect.
Young wants
He'll
one.
wear that to the rodeo.
If you think that you were one
fact-
of the first 9, just go ahead and message into San Angelo Live.
Robert
and
Young?
We'll hook y'all up, man. We're
And wait.
getting it done.
There's John Melton Gaddy wants free hats.
Hey, perfect. Hey, you can only get 1 though.
Only one. You can't pluralize
Danny
it.
Montez.
Hey
Jordan
guys,
Melton
and
Gadd.
don't forget, if you really like the hats,
Christian
they probably
Garcia?
got so much. You just got to go down there to the chamber. They'll probably hook you up.
You think?
Well, maybe.
No, we're giving away all the Michael Looney hats.
No, but I mean, that's pretty much been thousands and thousands of giveaways. I don't think I've
Isabel
disappointed
Thurman,
anyone.
free har. Nope, don't get. Oh wait, he comes back and corrects. it.
Nice try.
Yeah, you know that if you typo hat,
Hey, look at that.
we can't give that guy a hat.
Oh, did I ever
It's on his
announce the
phone.
Scott Allison real estate winners?
No, you did not. I don't
The
think you
3
did.
winners for that is Lane Carter. That's right, our city councilman.
City Councilman Lane Carter gets a free
Yep.
hat.
Isabel Thurman.
Yeah.
And Christina Lopez.
Woo!
Also, if I didn't say the Central Firehouse, it was Sam Mata, Joanne Gady, and Brandy Vincent.
Okay. Hey, Brandy Vincent.
There you go.
You said Brian Vincent earlier.
Brandy. Yeah, we've been saying his name the whole time. He's the sponsor of the show.
nice cover up there.
There you
Trammell.
go.
All right.
So have we given away 9 hats?
I think so.
Yeah, we'll find them in there.
We'll find them.
What about a har? Someone wants a free har.
Well, I don't carry hars.
No hars.
Just our hars.
Oh boy.
All right. Well, for the Boomtown San Angelo, I feel like we've all been Boomtown.
Well, you know, you started out the show, Matt Trammell. They were over there at the
Should we
Strike
end it
Rich
right
Bingo.
here?
Maybe we ought to end it at the Strike It Rich Bingo
I'm
giveaway
in.
desk.
I'm Matt Trammell. This
Y'all
has been San Angelo Live, and this has been Boomtown San Angelo. Come back next time and win 1,000 more prizes.
And thank you, Principal
And
LED.
Thank you, Principal LED and Strike It Rich Bingo, for hooking this all up. See you guys next time.